From the title, it's more of a love album.
That's what's up. Welcome to another week of Manifestations 2020.
Yo.
What's going on, fellas?
We good, man. What's cracking?
Oh, we on the air.
Good. So
I'm hearing somebody's echo.
So, who's echoing? Who echoing?
I don't know. I hear echo. Y'all don't hear when I speak?
No, I don't hear echo.
All right. What's good?
Yeah. What's good? So I definitely want to say first and foremost, happy Father's Day to you fellas. I know you guys aren't biological fathers, but you are mentors that makes you fathers of the community, of other people.
Yes,
I know
sir.
you guys probably dealt with stepchildren like I have. So, you have been a positive male role model in their lives as well. Salute to you guys for doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
That's nation. That's arts of nature, nation building. So it's always great that when you have fellas that step up. Sometimes other fellas don't step up, and sometimes some fellas aren't here to step up because they might have transitioned. So you pick up the slack in that way in the long run to help build your community so that way you can strengthen it while the opposition is out here trying to weaken it.
Real talk.
So definitely salute to all our fathers out there, and I hope you guys enjoy your day. And when I say enjoy your day, I put up a video of Desi Banks. I don't know if you guys know that comedian Desi Banks.
Yeah.
He had a funny Father's Day video, and I reposted it. But it was a video where normally guys open up the doors for women. He went straight to the vehicle, and he had to open up his doors.
Uh-huh.
He went into the house, and he didn't open the door for her. He actually closed the door like you need to open your door. She
Yeah.
went in there, she massaged his feet, and he was like,
Hmm.
"Man, make sure you get all in the crevices of my feet." And then she was like, "Oh, you're gonna do me when you done?" And he was like, "It's Father's Day, man, please." So that was his whole shit. Like, it's Father's Day, man, please. So
Yeah.
they pulled up to the gas station. She was like, "You're not gonna pump the gas?" He was like, "It's Father's Day, man, please." So he
Hey,
sat in the car. you
I
know, uh, he didn't drive the car. He hopped right in the passenger side. And she was like, "You're not gonna drive?" He was like, "It's Father's Day, man, please." So,
He's hilarious.
fellas,
I know it was
yes,
fly.
yeah,
Yeah.
hilarious, hilarious. But it was very funny to see that he was making fun of the situation, but he was just showing you like at least one day that's dedicated to men. He was going to take advantage of it. He was going to not do his normal routines and services that he do for his woman, and have
Right.
her cater to him that whole day. I thought it was very funny, and I had to repost it on my page
That's what's
to
up.
get a couple of laughs out there for the people. But I like to see that reciprocal. I like to see the reciprocal energy. We have Mother's Day, now we have Father's Day, and I like to see the reciprocal energy. I'm not trying to compare mothers and fathers to be on the same level. We all have our vantage points on it from the different genders, but we're both important. That is not in comparison. That is facts. We're both important. A
No
man
doubt.
is needed in the household, and a woman is needed in the household, and that's what makes a concrete foundation for a structure. So we just want to see men be more appreciative. I asked the women out there, I said, listen, I'm watching my timeline, and I'm going to be watching it, studying it hard, and I'm going to call y'all out because I don't want to see no damn roll up socks. I don't want to see no ties, and I don't want to see no uh, vaginal gifts that is given out every day. Be creative. You want men to be creative? You be creative. You
No
go out
doubt.
there and you get him a creative gift, a thoughtful gift, something that he might need. Don't give him the same roll up socks, deodorant. Uh, you go down to Bath and Bodies and go get the 3 for $10 package. No, we don't want that. No, I'm
No
speaking
doubt.
for them fellas. And even if they want it, no, you one day. This is one day out the week, out the year that you could go a little different and a little harder for your man,
That's
especially
right.
if he's doing a great job. And we only talk about men that are out here doing a great job. We're not talking about men that's not out here doing a great job. And I think that's something that our community needs to start implementing when we have these discussions. We don't have discussions about dudes that's not doing their job.
Right.
We don't discuss about women that's not doing their job.
Hmm.
Only time we discuss those women is to help guys avoid those women. The only time we discuss guys that's not doing their job is to help women avoid those guys.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we're here to
bingo.
teach you to focus on the good men and the good women. That's what we want you guys to focus on. So when we talk about men or women, we're talking about the good ones. We're not talking about the ratchet ones. We're talking about the good ones, the good quality ones. So I want you guys to start having those dialogues where you guys are talking about good people, not, we make a post and you automatically, oh, well, I don't know because my guy ain't good or these men out here ain't good. Well, then if they're not good, find you a good one because I'm
There you
pretty
go.
sure there's a good one out there.
There
Boom.
you go.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
Hmm.
so today's show, we have a great show for you guys today. We're not going to get into Queen Check tonight. What we will do is pay homage to a very, very important person in the community that we lost. If you guys haven't known, down here in South Florida, we lost one of our pillars, and his impact, because he doesn't rap like Nipsey Hussle, his impact is just as big as Nipsey Hussle. And you guys will see later on in the show how impactful this young brother was. And man, when I tell you, I cried tears when I found out that he got killed in a freak accident. And just you'll see, like when we discuss later, how he went from, like Biggie said, I went from negative to positive, and it's all good. And I'm gonna show you what that entails in his life, from his when he first moved to Florida and I met him to the day he transitioned, which was this week. And I'll show you guys that transition and show you how impactful he was. And I think everybody needs to know, because when we talk about what we do here at Manifestations is we build nations. And when we're building nations, we're talking about impactful people. And a lot of times, a lot of people, when we talk about building nations, a lot of people don't know the modern day version of somebody. Just last week on Queen Check, I gave you the modern day version of Fannie Lou Hammer, and a lot of y'all didn't even know. And my co-host and my guest, our guest from last week knew who she was, but my co-host, my brothers on here, they knew of her, but they didn't know in the details of what she did. So even in our circles, we're not even that closely niched to the power hitters out there. So when our job is really to get you guys familiar with these people, and we're going to do a better job at that. So that way you don't think that there's nobody out here doing the work. And I think that's the problem, because they have all of these Sambos and bed winches out here that they prop up that's doing stuff, and they're not doing anything. And the people that you don't know of is moving mountains, but they don't get the light shine on them. And we're going to do a better job trying to highlight that. And that's one of the reasons why we do Queen Check, is to highlight some of the women that's doing it. And we also highlight some of the brothers that's out here doing great work too. And we'll start implementing some more brothers into another segment, probably called Pay Homage. Every now and then we'll pay homage to brothers that's really out here doing it. And we also have them come on the show with us and, show you guys exactly what they're doing and how impactful they are in our community. I think it's very important, because we have younger generations that's watching programs like this, and you have younger generations that's around you guys 24/7 that need to know the information. So if you're not telling them, then we need to be the ones telling them as far as the community-based information. So with that being said, tonight's show is recap. Definitely a dope show. Major figure that we should do this so often, and I think I agree. We should do a recap so you guys can see what we've been doing. It's kind of like when we were going to school, we had a progress report, right? Before our report cards came out, we had a progress report.
No
And
doubt.
it would tell you what you were doing, your child was doing before the report card came out. So that way you can perfect what you need to do before the real grades get etched in to stone. If you need improvement and where you needed improvement at, and you could work on that to improve your grades before they're finalized in the system. So it's kind of like our Manifestation progress report. So we're definitely going to start doing that. And this is the first one here tonight. So with that being said, I want to turn it over to my crew and let them, say what they want to say off rip before we get into this. So how y'all fellas doing?
What up? What up, man? We good. We here.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Listen, I'm happy, man, because I mean, just off rip, on the strength of us having done this for 6 months already, 21 shows in.
Yeah,
That's heavy. It don't even feel like that. It's
definitely.
Yeah.
because I think it's because we love it. So when you love
Yes.
something, it's not work. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Yes.
Shout out to
Yes.
Sister Mila Renee, Power, happy fathers, uncles, big cousins, and community regulators day. That's what's up. We see you, sister.
Boom, boom.
Amen.
Anubis
Amen.
TV, we see you. Peace, family, and happy Baba's Day. That's what's up. That's what's up. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. That's big, man. Also, happy Juneteenth in advance.
Yes.
Juneteenth is tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Happy belated birthday to the late, great Dr. Shakur, June 1, 671. The day, you dig? Very, very influential brother. Anthony Malcolm lookalike, all this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That guy was a big deal, man. That's the greatest rapper to ever do it. I'm sorry, I don't care what nobody say. It's not even close to me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? All these GOAT conversations, they always talking about the flow and how many club hits and how many records sold, and everybody always leaves out content.
Mm.
That's why to me, Dr. Shakur was the greatest to ever do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you got these other cats out here, they sound decent, they sound fair, they got a nice flow, but their content is nowhere near. Their presence is nowhere near. Their whole being is nowhere near what Dr. Shakur's was. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Tupac Shakur, R.I.P. And hey, man, we in the spot, Manversations 2020. Now that's actually a show that we need to do. We need to do a show on hip hop. You dig? We
Yeah.
need.
I definitely wanted to do a show on hip hop, and I wanted to
Yeah,
do it where all of us and we don't tell each other nothing,
yeah.
and we basically find songs that was impactful or lyrics
Hmm.
that you guys can point out that was super dope that a lot of people slept on. So yeah, we're
No
gonna
doubt.
incorporate a show like that. It's been on my mind to do that
That'd be
because
fly.
I feel like music is basically it's the way of life. Music is the way of life.
Yeah,
When we work out, we make sure we put on music that incorporates us working out. When we are cleaning our house, a lot of us put on music that helps us clean the house.
yeah,
When we out here trying to bring peace and tranquility, we put on music for that. You have music when you want to go and sleep at night. Also, you have music that I play affirmation music on Sundays on More Empowerment. So
yeah.
that's I always thought about um, start off the week start off the week right, and I
Right.
put affirmation music on Sundays because it gets
Mhm.
your mind right for the rest of the week to follow. Because Sunday
Love
is
it.
really your resting day.
Love
So
it.
I have people hit me up if I don't have it on at a certain time. They be like, "Yo, it's not on," and I have to switch the program and forget sometimes to switch it if I come in late at night. So,
Yeah.
yes, we do have that. Music is very powerful, and that's one of the reasons why I went into starting my own radio show, and I'll get that up and running on a national level, hopefully soon. I'm just doing all the legwork and groundwork, but it's been up for almost 2 years. Coming December will be two
So,
years running. So, you can, if you can think it and you can have it manifest in your mind, you can put it into play. You know
of
what I'm
course.
saying? And people didn't think that I was able to do that. And I
Mm.
end up putting the radio station out there. And slowly it's going to graduate to the level it needs to go on. And like when you have black businesses out here, events that's out there, you will see the more empowerment tent set up in these places. So I did talk to Miami Gardens, got in the groove of Miami Gardens, which is a city out here. got with their leaders to help the information get to them. So they told me when my radio station is up and running the way I want it, come holler at them and we can work something out to get the information out to the people. And I thought that was
Yeah.
super dope. So it's great to have Black leaders, man. When you have Black leaders and you can network and politic and they listen to you and they appreciate the grassroots of you, man, you can go a long way. So shout out to Miami Gardens and all of their leaders out there that's doing great work. So I just wanted to implement that in. But yes, we're definitely going to do a show about that.
That's dope. I can't wait, man. Because the title of the show that Bobby Drake came up with, Manversations. It does. We do have a focus on dating and relationships, right? But conversations that men have are so much broader, and every group of men, every group of young Black men, especially if you came up during the 80s or the 90s, there's always a conversation about hip hop. Always.
Yes.
It's a thing.
True.
You know what I'm saying? We argue back and forth. Me and you gonna go back and forth on this Jay-Z versus Busta Rhymes thing. We gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be interesting.
Hold on. Jay-Z and Busta Rhymes. Where did Busta Rhymes coming? I think you're talking about Jay-Z and Nas.
No, me and you had a conversation about Jay-Z and Busta Rhymes. So we gonna do that on the hip hop show. You remember that?
I remember that happened.
Yes.
I vaguely remember that.
We did.
What it was about? Busta Rhymes and Jay-Z, they don't even in the same corporation together. Like,
nah,
what was that conversation about?
We were talking about verses, and you were saying that Busta would wash Jay-Z in the verses, and I looked at you like you had three heads.
Yes, he would. He would wash him in the verses. Yes, because
you know. Him and what army?
Busta Rhymes has the edge because Busta Rhymes is a performer. Jay-Z is not a performer.
How?
Hope's not a performer.
Dude.
Let's be real.
You never seen Jay-Z in concert, clearly.
Yes, I went to a Jay-Z concert. The man he sat in the goddamn chair the whole fucking night, rapping in the damn chair.
That's not the concert I went to.
Walking around.
I had the concert I went to.
Busta get in there, Busta like, yo, hit, and then you got Spliff Star that come out and
nah, bro.
He
gonna need an army to beat Jay in the verses.
If that's a metric, then it's not a company. Look, forget a concert, forget a performance. Just have you ever seen someone just having a regular old conversation with Busta Rhymes?
Yeah,
that man's conversation is anime. Like, hey, Busta, how you doing? What's up, Paul? I see you, my man. You doing real good. You looking real. God damn, just said, hey, I'm shake your hand. Yeah.
Exactly.
The dude is animated.
When he
is energy.
No, when he say, I'll get all in your booty, yo. Is it silly, yo? Come on, man. That get the crowd hype.
I think Jay-Z destroys Busta Rhymes in the verses, man. I don't even think it's close. I don't even think it's close. But what had a conversation on that show?
Only thing Jay-Z would get Busta Rhymes in is a freestyle. I'll give Jay-Z the edge on a freestyle.
Man, listen.
I'll give Jay-Z the edge on.
Definitely on freestyle, but also you got to understand, Jay-Z has a whole album with Kanye West. Jay-Z has a whole album with Beyonce. What is Busta gonna do when
Busta Rhymes be like,
stop it.
Y'all, woo-ha, when I catch you all in check.
Stop it.
Then he got, hold on, then he, you
Busta
remember.
Busta don't need no features like that, though.
But what I'm saying is, if you're talking about verses, all he got to do is, he got to be like, rewind, bring the bit back, come back and rewind, boom, and then all the leaders in the new school just come out, Charlie Brown and them boys like, come on, man, that would tear the crowd apart, bro.
It'll be fly.
Then you got songs with Q-Tip. Come on,
It'll be fly, but no army can help him in that battle. I'm sorry. No.
I'm telling you.
Save it for that show. Save it for that show. We're going to have this debate on that show. So bring your point.
Sneak peek right here. Sneak peek.
Hey, man.
I'm telling you, man.
Hold up, real quick before I pass.
Remember, all right, real quick.
Well, this guy won't stop now. Oh God.
No. Last point, dog. Let me tell you something. Busta had the internet rumbling with his challenge. Remember that fast challenge everybody was trying to do?
Yeah, I remember. That's one song. That's Look at Me Now. That's one song.
Come on, man.
He won't last, bro. I'm
Telling
sorry.
you, man. I
We gonna
love
see.
Buster, man.
We gonna see though. I'm gonna save all that for that show. But
Definitely.
To be continued.
I just
Yeah.
want to make sure I put this out there because people some people think that in the dating and relationships conversation, some
Yeah.
people think they have solutions. And
Yeah.
the true proof of whether or not you have solutions is, do you see anything being resolved? You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Do you see any traction coming
Yeah.
about when you get your shit popping? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, we got we
Yeah.
got we got a few hip hop comments. Uh-oh. Jay-Z
Yeah.
has the
I'm
edge. We'll
yeah.
get back to that. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just want to put it out there. Since my wedding in January,
Yeah.
right? We've had another wedding from people who we know that know us that watch the show. We've had another wedding. We've
Nice.
had two proposals from people
Nice.
that we know that watch the show, and we have another pending proposal from people that we
Nice.
know that watch and are involved with the show. So I just want to put it out there. We're not just
Yes.
talking, we're not just whistling Dixie, we're not just pissing in the wind. You understand what I'm
Yes.
saying? We know
Sow the
what we're talking
seeds.
about.
Sow
We
the
Exactly.
seeds.
we know what we're talking about, like for real,
Yes.
and we're discussing solutions for real. You know,
Yes.
I've had people come to me directly and ask me about marriage and, how I went about meeting my queen and cultivating, the environment that, made it so easy for me to go ahead and want to marry her. I've had people directly contact me and ask me about that. I've had people show me rings. Hey man, what you think of this ring? I'm gonna get shorty. Blah blah blah. One of my partners that I was just talking about, man, I couldn't believe it because I had just gotten on him a couple months prior. I'm like, man, you say all this about this woman. She's so wonderful. She's so this. She's so that.
Mhm.
Why
Yeah.
you don't just pull the trigger? And
Yeah.
he gave me the usual, man, da, da, da. I'm like, bruh, you ain't getting no younger. You know what I'm saying? I kind of went at him a little bit. And lo and
Yeah.
behold, I pull up my Instagram one day. This man's putting the napkin on the floor, getting on one knee and proposing. So say what
Nice.
you say. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what it is right here. People coming to us, and getting influenced by us and finding solutions through us because we ain't bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
That's what's
real out
up.
here. It's real out
That's
here.
what's
So
up.
God bless to everybody out there that is getting down with the nuptials and even just getting more serious and more refined in their relationships. That's what's up. That's so
That's what's
fulfilling.
up. Shout out
That's
to
so
those,
fulfilling.
bro. Shout out to that, man. Definitely.
Salute,
Um,
salute.
it's so great. It's so great to hear testimonials like that. And this is why it's important. This is why it's very key, very important for you to have solid brothers around you, solid sisters around you, because they will pull you out of your slum and bullshit. They will motivate you. They will also push you in the direction you need to be pushed in that ends up being in your best interest and for your best purpose.
Right. Real.
Understand why this circle is very important. That's why they always talk about the circle and how small that circle is, because you're only going to have enlightened people by the small amount, because the masses be on the bullshit. So that's why they always say, I keep my circle small. When you have a small
Yeah.
circle, that means you have a very impactful circle. You
Mm-hmm.
understand that those people in your circle mean you a lot. So you could get a lot done with that small circle versus the masses. That's why they always tell you, I'll run with 100 lions than to run with 10,000 monkeys. You see
That's
what I'm
what's
saying?
up.
That
Yes.
that's where the power comes in. You're by your
Mm-hmm.
circle, because if you're running with killers, you're going to be a killer. You run with losers, you're going to be a loser. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? So that's how you gotta look at it. And when I say killers, I don't mean killing. I'm just talking about people with natural instincts of getting stuff done. So I just want to clarify that up because I know we live in a gun world and y'all might take that the wrong way. But just out here doing what you need to do, run with some people that's out there going to get it done versus running around with people that's just going to monkey around all day. You're not going to get nothing done. It's not going to be progressive. All right, and time's going to pass you by. But yes, that is super dope that you that they have you in their circle and you're getting them on the direction they need to go to, because the second opinion is always vital to anybody, whether it's the doctor's office, whether you're with some friends. If you get an opinion that ends up being in the same direction as everybody else, then more than likely they're pushing you in the right direction. So you get the confirmation, like, yeah, I got to get it done. You know what I'm saying? That's why they always say second opinion.
No doubt.
Definitely, man. Congrats to that. So that's super dope.
Yeah.
So we definitely have some highlights of some videos that we definitely want to get into. So we're gonna pull the first one up. And the first one that we highlighted was the first one we're gonna highlight.
And the most intelligent thing that you could think to do, instead of reaching back and trying to help and trying to empower, is to look down your nose at and pontificate from where you are towards the people that are in your mind beneath you. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, everybody jumped all over her ass as they should. You can have your own preferences, but I draw the line at shitting on other people who don't meet the line of where your preferences are. I'm sure there are plenty of women out there who wouldn't date a bus driver, but they don't have the disposition towards the average everyday working person that this woman does. You know, it was really despicable to listen to, you know, the type of things that she was saying about everyday people. DJ Envy pointed out, hey, these are the people that buy your books. These are the people that come to your lectures. You know, these are, you know, this is your audience. These people should be important to you. You don't care about them. And all she kept doing is reciting these, you know, statistics, you know, that, you know, it just kind of rang hollow because she's never, ever talked about empowerment of Black people or helping Black people or anything like that. All of a sudden, when she says some stupid shit, she's Harriet Tubman. Fuck out of here, man. No, it just don't go like that. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, you want to invoke your Blackness now, you know, and you're, you know, Coretta Scott. Like an idiot. I mean, it was hard to watch. It really was. And she won't shut up and just take the game and learn from it. And, you know, listen, take the game and learn from it and come back a better person or come out and apologize. No, that's too much like being accountable. And what does Kevin Samuels talk about? The need to be right. Everybody's telling this woman wrong, that she's wrong, but the need to be right won't let her just admit, hey, I'm wrong. Maybe I should dial this back some. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you can have your preferences. You can have your opinions, but opinions can be wrong. People always use that as a cop out. That's my opinion. Well, your opinion can be wrong. And your preference can be, you know, not necessarily wrong, but wrong-headed and misguided. And I feel that, you know, her preference in this case is precisely that. And I'll land my plane.
Definitely. I just want to point this fun fact in real quick before I let Bobby Drake go. 60% of Americans make less than $60,000. I mean, 60K a year. 82% of Americans make less than 100K, and 92% of Americans make less than 150K. All right. So that was major, talking about Ebony K. Williams, who came out with the initial interview with Ayanna. Was it Ayanna she had the initial interview with, or it was another one?
Yeah.
It was Ayanna, yeah.
It was Ayanna, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then she was talking about, and she brought up the bus driver, and then everything just went crazy and in a frenzy. So Major was just pointing out very good highlighted points about what she was saying about bus drivers and looking down on the profession, when, to be honest, And I've said it, you guys could go back. That was a powerful show, Dating Preference. And you could go back and you'll hear me talk about how um, our majority of the country of America is built off of the bus drivers. The working class America is what really builds America, which is the working black class, to be honest. So the average bus driver, city worker, they're all in the same line of money wise. So for her to look down and kind of shade him in that way, um, it was just something that she just didn't need to do. But it was an eye opener to show you how a lot of these boule and bougie women think, and that's why I say a lot of times when it comes to women, a lot of their problem is they're in competition with other women, but they will sit back to divide, to have division, conversation, and dialogue. They will sit back and say they do things for men when in reality, when they get their butt enhanced or they get work done, it's to compete with other women.
Sure is.
When they trying to get a man, they want a man with a lot of money because they want to use his money to stun on other women. So there's a lot of foundation where a lot of women will gravitate to something in order to compete with other women. And it's
Mm-hmm.
always a competition against women. And that's why they're so violent with each other. They hate each other. They have so much vitriol and jealousy towards each other because it's always competition. They see each other as competition. So that's why I just wanted to point that point out. But like I say, Major made a great point on that. And reflecting back, go ahead, Major, you can take over on what you saw, what you stated.
Yeah, man. That particular show was heavy, man, because that comment and initially, technically, there was nothing really wrong with what she said, but we could read into what she was saying, who she was. Would you date a bus driver if he owned the bus? I don't know if that's necessarily that bad, but people took it away. And then she came back the next day, and then she let us know that she was who we thought she was. And I mean, she just started. I mean, all this bile and vitriol just started coming from the depths of hell. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Oh, those people that had a problem with me, you probably were C&D students in school. And,
Yeah.
we shouldn't be promoting mediocrity. And if we're promoting mediocrity within our society, then that's white supremacy.
Yeah.
And there are actually people out here that are sticking up for her. She went on the Breakfast Club and she moved the goalpost 100 times. You understand
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And you're right. Envy should have sharpened his argument. I would have lit her ass up. I wish I would have been on there. But the point of the matter is, we he should have focused on what she said that second day, because that was really what was the most damning. If she would have just came on there, hey guys, my comments were kind of taken out of context. I feel I'm just saying that for me personally, I might want somebody who's a little more established, whatever. I didn't mean to offend anybody. If she would have came at it like that, different. But she came on there saying everything that
Mhm.
we thought and more. Man, it was
Mhm.
a treasure trove of just shitting on regular, everyday working people. And
Yeah.
I thought that was really eye opening, because there are a million Ebony K. Williams out there. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And not only is it that she's downing the regular, everyday working person, but most guys will look at her and listen to her and tell you that, they don't really feel that she's no great shake. She ain't bad looking, but, she a little long in the tooth. You know what I'm saying? She done seen a few mango seasons, you dig?
Mhm.
And, you know, she's not stunning. She all right. So it's like, okay, you want all of this, but what are you really bringing to the table? Which is usually the type of person that you hear these type of arguments from. Somebody that those ballers, so to speak, really ain't checking for. So it was just very interesting, and it opened a broader conversation about classism in dating. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And how, particularly towards men, because we're supposed to be, the breadwinners or whatever the case may be, and the providers. And it's just really, really interesting how a lot of women, and there are women who make $40,000 a year, and I'm not downing women who make $40,000 a year. There are women who make $35,000 a year who think just like she does, and you just scratching your head as a man, like, damn, she just started making money herself.
Mm-hmm.
She was a public pretender. People talk about, oh, she was a lawyer. She's a public defender. They don't make no money. Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
So she just came into money. And all of a sudden she looking down her nose talking about, you know, how uneducated people must be. And for us, basically she's saying for women to date bus drivers, they're accepting mediocrity. And that is akin to white supremacy. That's the most ignorant bullshit I've ever heard in my life. From this
Yeah.
person who I've never seen this woman out, anywhere. And I've seen her before. I've never seen her talking about any black issues or, being the spokesperson for any black empowerment. She full of shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of people out here are in that same vein. You know what I'm saying? They just talk. There's nothing behind the talk. And that was particularly hurtful to people in the community because there are some great everyday people. Those people are not mediocre. And that has nothing to do, accepting someone like that in your life has absolutely nothing to do with white supremacy. In fact, what she's doing, black people getting to a certain level of accomplishment and then looking down on other black people and disrespecting those people, that comes from a white supremacist mindset. So
Correct.
we got to be careful about people like that. And I'll
Yeah.
land my plane. Mm-hmm.
I think it really solidifies exactly what a lot of people are saying, and especially what Kevin Samuels was talking about, as far as how people came at Kevin Samuels saying that he was talking about high value men as being a person of means, wealth, and means that in
Mm-hmm.
that way.
Right.
And Kevin Samuels told you, I never said that. I never described high value man as somebody who was wealthy or had money or in a
Right.
certain tax bracket.
True.
You women valued high value man by his pockets. And it just solidified that because guess what? There was a podcast. I can't remember the name of the podcast, but it was a brother on there. It was two brothers on there. I think they might have been on, I'm not sure if they were on Earn Your Leisure, but it
Mm-hmm.
was two brothers that was on there. And one dude, he spoke on it. He said, he was like, yo, I know a lot of millionaires that live check to check. And that like blew my mind. Like, I never thought about it like that. When you think about millionaires, you never think about them living check to check.
Real
So when he
talk.
started
Oh
breaking it
yeah.
down, he was like, yo, you remember when you're a millionaire or you have means, you have a lot of expenses. Whether it depends on what kind of cars you drive, all the type of house, the investments or whatever you got going on, you got to put money into it. So it's like you really don't have money like that available. You don't have capital that's available like that. You're banking on that capital to invest itself so you can end up getting the residual of generations. So you're building towards generational millions and
Yeah.
not the check millions. And when he broke that stuff down, I was like, I never thought about millionaires living check to check.
That's
And that's
crazy.
one of the reasons why I always talked about women. There were certain women that I walked away from because even though they weren't millionaires, these women had a lot of debt. So even though you
Crazy.
look good on paper, yes,
Right.
you got an MBA. Yes, you got a PhD in this. Yes, you got third degree. You got 3 degrees. Yes, you look good on paper. You drive a Mercedes. Yes, you look good on paper. But then when
But
you
you
break
struggling.
down the paper, you start seeing like, yo, you got one slip up from being in a bad position.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And I always tell people this. I know people that work at McDonald's that stack more money than people who are lawyers and all that. You
Real
know what I'm
talk.
saying? It's
Absolutely.
all about your budgeting and your finances that puts you in a different situation, not by looking at what they do, but
Mm.
what you do, what do you do, and how do you finance your money? That separates you. You know what
Real
I'm saying?
talk.
That's
It
real.
separates you because you got panhandlers out here making $300-400 a day. You know
Real
what
shit.
I'm saying? And you looking at them like that motherfucker a bum. That motherfucker make more than you because you
Okay.
might make $300 a day, but you got to
Uh-huh.
pay taxes. You got to do all that. He's getting 300 cash under the. So it's all about perception and what the reality of it is. And I think a lot of us get caught up into that. And I think this is one of the most powerful things that manifestation can bring is that we bring reality and logics to situations that seem fairy tale-ish. You know what I'm saying? We're not
Look.
out here to sugarcoat anybody or put you in the wrong direction. We out here to guide men and women in the right
Mhm.
way. And a lot of times people don't
You're
tell
right.
you this truth because everybody's so infatuated on looking good, looking good. The perception, that's why we always talk about how broke people trying to impress other broke people. And
Yeah.
that we got to get away from that type of mentality because that keeps you in the hole. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel like what she was saying was bad. I know, Meiji, with you saying like it wasn't all that bad. It wasn't all that bad, but when you look at it from another way, it was
Hmm.
bad because now you're doing the same thing that I feel like a lot of folks out here do, which is backhanded compliment. You feel me? I felt like
Yeah.
that was a backhanded compliment, like, oh, you're a bus driver. Well, I wouldn't date bus drivers. Like, so you acknowledging that bus drivers is decent job, but then you say, oh, nah, no, I'm good off that.
Well, she
You know what I
said
mean?
only if he owned the bus. So it like I
In other
like
words, not
like I
really the bus
said,
driver.
it wasn't that bad initially, but we read into what she said who she was. Then she came back the next day and she let us know exactly who she was. And it's like
Yeah.
she just confirmed everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Just a bougie stank. You know what I'm saying? At
yeah.
the end of the day. And that's never a good look, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, let me tell you, man, like you said, and it ain't what you make, it's what you keep
Yeah.
basically. You know what I'm saying?
My
And
grandfather taught us that
hey,
Yeah.
it's
it
not
ain't
what you
what you
make, is
make,
what you can keep.
it's
I got
what
too
you
many
Yeah.
keep.
stories about that, man.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, she just pooped all over herself, man. Go ahead, Bob. What you got, man?
Yeah.
No, man. I just did all that. My grandfather used to tell us the same exact thing. It's not what you make, is what you can keep.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you don't have proper budgeting and spending skills, basically it doesn't matter how much money you make, you're always going to be perpetually pissing in the wind. I remember I saw something long time ago, some advice that said that everybody should know, not that they should necessarily do it. If you can, it's great, but
Yeah.
everybody should at least know how to live off of roughly half their income.
Yeah.
Because
Agreed.
if anything happens, and I think the pandemic and the quarantine should have taught a lot of people that, or really reinforced that. But God forbid if you lose your job, if anything happens, your building gets knocked down or something, it's a natural disaster, or you're unable to bring in a paycheck, what are you gonna do? Because I remember seeing the numbers way before, because I always kept up on things like that before the pandemic was ever even a thing, before anybody outside of the scientific community had ever heard of or knew about a COVID-19 or what have you. Um, Back then, the numbers were like the average person that loses their job unexpectedly takes about anywhere from 6 to 9 months to get a new job at the same level or higher,
Mm-hmm.
and that's beforehand. And then, of course, we know that most people don't have four figures in their savings accounts. Most people really they live off their checkings account. They don't have a savings account. If they do, they spend very little money in there. And I hear people even today say all kind of wild things like, "Oh, I can't afford to save.
Shit.
Mm.
You
Yeah, that's
can't afford to,
wild.
you can't afford to take even if it's I mean, and because it's better than nothing, you can't even afford to take $1 out of your paycheck and put that away.
That's wild.
So you can't afford to save, then that means all you gotta do is get in a car accident.
It's a
All you
wrap.
need to do is have an electrical fire. Maybe you fell asleep and didn't leave and left the stove on, or you went to work, you forgot to check the stove, house burned down. You're
Mm.
screwed. You have nothing.
Yeah.
Most people 1 or 2 paychecks away from being homeless and losing it all. And in some cases today, we see that you have people in places that are basically working homeless.
Yeah.
You know, they have a full time job. They get their 40 hours or more every single week, but they can't afford to keep a roof over their head, so they're living in their cars. They're living in parking lots. They're living in different places. If there's arrangements in the city to go ahead and let them have a place where they can hole up for the night or for the week, or whatever, that's what they
Yeah.
got going on. So you
California
out
got
here,
plenty.
Jesus,
Yeah.
California is so bad. They literally, and I read articles about it. They literally, in some place in California, have people not renting rooms, but renting beds in shifts.
What?
Like the same amount of people.
God damn.
I'm drop dead, shoot your foot off. Serious. You literally go in some places. You are renting a bed for 8 hours. They say, okay, you got the bed from uh 8 o'clock to whatever the time is. So you get in there, you lay down, you close your eyes. Soon as probably about 5 minutes before the time comes, the landlord or whoever comes in, and you got to get over the next person's here. They
That's
change
wild.
the sheets, or whatever. The next person comes in, and they got to go on like that, and they have no
What?
choice but to go with it because what other options do you have? If you want an actual bed,
I didn't
if
even
if
know
you
that.
really if you really hype to not go and spend a night in a shelter somewhere, if you really keen on not renting out somebody's shed like it's a downtown studio, this is what you got to deal with. So it's real out here.
Damn.
So all this keeping up with the Joneses, in a lot of cases, it's a death sentence. Somebody,
Yeah.
one of our Facebook friends shared a post where somebody made a post, a meme trying to count Kendrick Lamar because the brother's worth, I think, like 60 or 70 million dollars, and they're clowning him for still wearing fake Jordans.
Mm.
What?
If
Mm.
I'm worth 70, if I'm worth 7 figures,
Yeah.
you tripping off me wearing some fake or off-brand shoes where you know damn well I could probably buy more of these in one afternoon than you can buy in your lifetime.
They be
Yeah.
focused on the wrong shit, bro.
But
Real talk.
again, so
Yeah.
we need a drastic, and so what we've seen is it doesn't matter if you're someone who's a high-powered attorney like Ebony K. Williams or somebody who's on Section 8. It's the mindset that's got to change and switch up.
She
Yeah.
ain't no power
Because
attorney.
again, you be making big money. Years ago I used to work security at a hospital, and there
Mm.
was a doctor I was really cool, really amicable guy, and he got him a Tesla. This was back when the Teslas were really just first becoming a thing, and at that point it was even more of a status symbol because everybody couldn't
Yeah.
get a Tesla. You had to be on a waiting list. So he had his Tesla, and I swear every single morning he pulled up with a pep in his step. Till one day he came to work a little down. I'm like, "What's up with you?" Whatever. He's like, "No, no, no big deal." Coming to find out, he was pulling to work now in a Kia minivan, and apparently he had to do it because even though he's a doctor, makes
Yeah.
real good money,
Yeah.
but all that medical school debt and everything else, and he man had like a family of 4 or 5, including himself. He had to go down, so he couldn't keep up with that, so he had to trade that in for something that was more economical and made sense.
That's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But
as
see,
a
the
doctor,
numbers was there.
he making bank,
The
but
numbers
more
was
is
there.
coming out than coming in. So
Right.
the math ain't mathing. So basically, I might have actually been in a better economic situation than him at the time with my little security job and my overtime.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Yeah. One of my managers put me onto that because I
It's
was
chess, not checkers, and this that's just
right.
what else. I was at
Yeah.
J.C. Penney's during the pandemic, and I bumped into a cashier because I talked to people. And this sister, she was really well spoken, very kind and courteous. So we got to chopping up for the 5 minutes while she's ringing my stuff up. Coming to
Yeah.
find out, she's actually an attorney. She
What?
What?
got a practice attorney at JD, but once again, unforeseen circumstances came with the pandemic. Whole firm got closed down, but she
Wow.
got bills to pay. She got a nice house that she has to be paying a mortgage on. So she
Yeah.
can't just sit back and be all sedity and talk about, well, I'm a lawyer. I can't afford to be working this job or that job. I don't date the bus driver. I only date the bus company owner. None of that foolishness. She had enough sense to be practical
Right.
and say, you know what?
Right.
This is way beneath me. I'm more than overqualified for this. but I'm gonna take my ass into J.C. Penney's and I'm gonna ring up these items with
Very
dignity.
smart. Very smart. That's what I'm talking about. I love it.
Yeah.
We need
The
more
battle
sisters
is
out
up
there like
here.
that.
The
Right.
battle is up here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about the nonsense. Half these people going to hell in a handbasket.
No
It's
doubt.
up here. So I'm not gonna beat the drum because I think we did a pretty thorough job about covering all the flaws. That I'm not gonna beat the horse dead too long, but but the leather ain't cushy enough just yet. I had to get it just right. So now it's
There you go.
to my
There you go.
standards.
That shit was crazy though. When it happened, everybody was kind of like, oh, you know what I'm saying? People couldn't believe that, somebody. I think the most part of it was that this was a black woman on a so-called black network, coming out and saying this.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It's like, yo, sister, that nobody know. If you was a big name person and you didn't have much to lose,
Yeah.
maybe. But you ain't even been an elitist for 6 months. And you
Yeah.
talking this shit? Shut your
Yeah.
ass up.
But
Sit
remember,
down.
but remember, you gotta watch out for these people because when you start looking at people that start getting in certain positions when it comes with us, when they start being given a platform to go out and be open and hop on the mic, you gotta wonder because you know that they're
Yeah,
not gonna pass a mic to anyone that's gonna come there with something to say, at least not unless it's some kind of a trap or situation where they can at least level the playing field.
no
When they
doubt.
put a mic in your hands and a camera, you gotta really
They
consider. So you
they
might have
do
someone
coon vet.
thorough, but you never know. You gotta really scrutinize who's up there.
That's what I'm saying. People generally were surprised. I wasn't surprised because I know that they coon vet these people before they give them positions at
Correct.
at networks like the Grio and other publications like the Root and all that type of shit.
The
You
rock.
have to be a coon to work in these places. Let's just keep it a buck. You understand what I'm saying? They're not going to allow you to work in their workspace whatsoever if you're not a coon. That's just the long
And,
and short of it. And these are
and,
white
Gotta,
owned, by the
you gotta
way.
carry the water. You gotta carry the
and
water for them. They know what they're doing.
That's what it is.
and
Yep.
all of them are misandrous agendas. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They're
Exactly.
misandrous writers. So they don't have the best interests of the total black community. It's one-sided and it's beating down on the black men. This is why
Right.
you have you have women like that, and then you have the color purple being uh
Yes.
reconstructed again.
Hmm.
Just to put black men in a bad light. And we got women out here, we talk about men out here that talk about gun violence, but I'm listening to all these new artists of women coming out, and they're talking about gun violence even harder than some of the dudes, and yet they get praised for it, but the
Sure do.
guys who've been doing it get blamed for it and casted as the problem in our society. So,
Mm-hmm.
there we go with the accountability being one-sided.
Right.
So, it's crazy. You got to see the agenda for what it is and attack it at its at its point, because you don't want to get it to the point where it's too big where you can't even address it no more.
Yeah.
So you got to push back on a lot of this stuff, but definitely, man, it's something that you got to watch these people. So,
No doubt.
with that being said, we are going to go into the next video, which is another video with Major, and this one is self-awareness. So this is basically breaking down the Lotto, Lola Brooke, and City Girls type of mentality, just like what I was just talking about a while ago. So let's get into that.
Who were part of the struggle, who taught me, the struggle, who had me listening to Malcolm and Brother Elijah Muhammad, Farrakhan, all these people. I must have been 7 years old the first time I went to my first Farrakhan lecture, because this is what was on their minds. These are the type of women that I know. You understand what I'm saying? And so to see other women in their same age group behave this way is the weirdest shit to me. I don't understand it. We get into, and it's not just women, by the way. We happen to be, talking about Young Miami, whatever, but
we're in this weird space where unfortunately a lot of our elders have failed us. And that's why you have so many of these young people walking around, even to speak back to the other story, where a young man killed a female officer, whatever, for absolutely no reason. Who was in their head? Because I know they didn't learn that from listening to Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. I know they didn't learn that from listening to John Henry Clark or Asa Hilliard. But, and people always ask this dumb ass question. I swear I just want to slap their teeth out when I hear them. Why are you worried about it? Why am I worried about it? That's a person that's spoken like a true coon. And that's a person who doesn't have any concept of the youth are the future, like for real, for real. And the more you fail our youth, the more you fail yourself, because when your stupid ass get old and you need somebody to come take care of you, and you haven't instilled the proper values in your children and have participated in us not instilling the proper values in other children, they ain't gonna think your old ass is worth preserving either. Hold up now.
Look, wait a second. Hold up. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Man,
it's walk time. Let that man get that sesame oil. Get that walk, that nice. Let that man cook though. It's walk time.
The seasoning was fervent, bruh. You dig? Listen, man. But that's real ass talk. When we start talking about the situation that we're in and why we have so many grown-ups who are unfit to be a proper mate, where did they learn from? Okay? When I speak about many of our elders have failed us, that's a real thing. And that's why I'm here. That's why these brothers are here today. Because we're starting to get into that OG space. We're not quite elders yet, but we're right in the middle where, we're not quite elders, but we're older and we're wiser than some of these youngins out here, and we can help get their minds right. You know what I'm saying? We're still young, so we're still relatable, but we're a little older. You know what I'm saying? And going into our elder years, we definitely want to be even sharper than we are now and helping as many of these youngins out here as we possibly can. David Banner, I was watching on a show yesterday, and he was talking about how he doesn't have any biological children, but he has children all over the place because so many young people come to him and they ask him for counsel, and they, they're asking them, if they should zig or zag in this particular, time in their life or whatever the case may be. And more of us need to step into that space because, as I pointed out to somebody I was debating that asked me that same stupid ass question, why you care? What's it to you? Why you worried about it? And I told him, like, yo, exactly what I just said in that clip. Like, we are the future. The people with sense have to step up and shout down these mongrels that's just talking out their ass. That's the long and short of it. We got too many people out here, as Jason Black has said many times. We got too many people out here that have the mic and the platform like they got something to say worth listening to. That don't. This just straight irresponsible, just talking utter nonsense. And I've even some people that I'm cool with, I've had to kind of distance myself from lately because they may mean well and have good intentions, but they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And we really, really need to preserve our credibility and not get too close to people that don't know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people that are out here fueling the gender wars, we got to distance ourselves from them. Maybe somebody that we're real cool with, but they're just too emotional to handle, some of these adult debates that we need to have. You understand what I'm saying? We just can't mess with everybody, or we can mess with them, but we got to feed them on a long handle spoon kind of stuff.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because
Sparingly.
our credibility, we can't afford to get our face dirty. Oh, you rock with her, but dude, she a low key misandrist. You know, she a feminist. Why y'all rocking with her? We gotta be careful about that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Or it could be a him. It ain't even gotta be a her. But
yeah,
you know, everybody doesn't deserve the same listening space. Everybody doesn't deserve to be heard. Everybody hasn't proven themselves worthy of deserving to be heard. And if you're an elder and you have no game, you have nothing to hand down, shame on you. You know, because the community is in crisis right now. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? During all those years that you were here, what were you doing if you don't have anything to pass down? That's
right.
fair.
Yeah,
And I respect and love my elders. You know, most of the game that I picked up from elders. But when I say I have elders, man, I got elders. I got Dr. John Henrik Clark elders. I got Malcolm X elders. These people is like talking to one of them. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? In my direct family, in my extended family, all over the place. So yeah, you know, my thoughts, my headspace is just formulated different from a lot of these cats out here because a lot of these dudes, they don't understand basic integrity. And if you don't have that, you
Mm,
have nothing else.
mm,
That's the long and
period.
short of it. That's the
Period.
long and short of it. You feel me? So, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing more people step up into the space. You know, I'm starting to even hear some of the people that we are around talk differently, the ones that aren't stubborn and the ones that actually come to listen instead of, you know, come to hear their own voice. I'm starting to hear people actually talk differently. You know what I'm saying? And coming to the table, and I'm seeing people evolve right before my eyes, and it's beautiful. So we must be
yeah.
doing something right, man.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Bobby, you wanted to cook on that, or you leaving it the sizzling the way it
No,
is?
look, look, man. I know that there's a time to step in the kitchen and get busy. There's time to sit at the table and wait for the food to come out. And I'm shoot, Iron Iron Chef Iron Chef Gage did his thing, man. We full over here. I got nothing to toss on there, man.
That's what it
It's
is, bro, bro.
Yeah,
it's top
Appreciate you.
tier.
yeah.
Put your
He
Appreciate
truffle
you.
he
oil on it. I feel you.
yeah
Yes,
he
sir.
definitely fired it up and cooked it. It is shit. If I cook on top of that, that shit is gonna come out like steak.
It's gonna be burnt.
Well done. Yeah. So I'm not even. It's not even gonna be
Bet.
chewable or digestible. It's gonna be rubber. So
Real talk, though.
yeah, but that's what you want. You want to be around or listen to fellas that's giving you good game. You want to be around sisters that's giving you good game
Mm-hmm.
because it's gonna help you benefit you in the long run.
Right.
So all that sugarcoating stuff, I'm gonna tell you what sugarcoating really is. Good
Yeah.
game is sugarcoating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good game, good game is like you going to the dealership at wherever you got your car from. So if you got your car from Jaguar or Lexus or Mercedes,
Yeah.
and you go to the dealer and get the work done, yes, you're
Mm.
going to pay more money than if you go out there to find somebody at a side mechanic or go to something like Pep Boys. You're gonna spend a little bit less going outside of the realm of the dealership.
Yeah.
You're gonna get second hand parts, not top quality parts that came with the car. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So that's what real game is. Real game is the dealership. So when you spend the extra to go to the dealership, you
Yeah.
know when you leave the dealership, your shit is tight.
I love it.
Your shit is on point. And you ain't got to worry about driving down the road or breaking down or anything like that because
Hmm.
you went to the people who know the car inside out.
Right.
You
No
see what I'm
doubt.
saying? They
Hmm.
specialize, the mechanics specialize on those cars. When you go to Pep Boys, it might be a kid fresh out of college who never been on a car or only did probably American cars. He doesn't know anything about foreign cars.
It's
He doesn't
different.
know about the little switches or whatever you got to do before you do something else.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So when you go to the dealership, that's real. You're getting the real deal.
Yeah.
When you're out here getting sugar coated, that's when you go to the shade tree mechanics and these other places and get your
Right.
work done. Now,
Mm-hmm.
here's the critical part.
Mm.
When you get sugar coated, your shit is only temporary. So
Come on now.
when you out here driving, you can drive away from that shade tree mechanic or drive away from the Pep Boys or whatever you go,
Yeah.
and you could go down the street and your shit fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Yep.
you got a decision to make to go right back and spend more time where they tell you, oh, since it's late, we gotta hold your car overnight. Now you have to go and rent a car or tell somebody to come pick you up. Now
Right.
you inconvenienced out of that situation right where you were. So
Mm-hmm.
now you have to find an alternate way to get home or whatever to get back your car to make sure it's fixed correctly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it might be 2 or 3 times you come back and your shit not right. It's
Mm-hmm.
not running right. That's what sugarcoating is. When somebody's sugarcoating you, they're only fulfilling just enough for you to continue on. But after a while, you're gonna break down because the sugarcoating ain't holding up no more. Because now you have to face with the reality of it that the sugarcoating ain't fit to even handle.
Real
So now
talk.
you get
True.
slapped in the face with reality when
Mm.
somebody sugarcoated you a fantasy, and
Mm-hmm.
now you gotta pay double. So when somebody was out here telling you, hey, sister, like Sister Mila be out here telling y'all sisters to go out here and work out.
Yeah.
And you be like, nah, I ain't finna go work out. Yeah, you gotta put more, your more money is your more effort. So you
Right.
gotta put more effort to get the results you want. But you say,
Mm-hmm.
nah, I'm finna go down here and go to DR and pay a little couple of grand and go
Mm-hmm.
get my shit done.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get your shit done. Now your one of your cheek look like a block, the other one look round. You see what I'm saying? Now what
Yeah,
you
I
gonna
see it.
do? You can't now you got an option. Now you got to jump back on a flight to go back down there, stay in a hotel to go get it done right.
Yeah. Real talk.
Might not be done right. Or you might go back down there and guess what? You might not make it back because
Well,
you done died on the table.
Well,
Because a
this is
lot of these doctors down there aren't even licensed to do what they do.
right. Right.
That's why you have a lot of women that's out there getting chopped up and
Mm-hmm.
blocked. You see what I'm saying? They're getting
Yeah.
jobs done.
Yeah.
So you're not paying for the quality. You're just paying for the convenience of it in your mind, sugarcoated you to make you feel like that was the right decision when it wasn't the right decision from the get-go. But you
Not
have
just in
people
your
that
mind.
boost you. Yeah,
Yeah.
people boost you up and they
People
put
boost
you
you
in
up.
that position. And now
And this
you are paying for it twice as much
hard.
opposed to getting the realness.
bingo.
So I just wanted to put that out there.
That's
Just
real.
to sprinkle some damn sprinkles on top of the cake that Major laid out for y'all.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, sisters.
Highlight.
Yeah, and I said this a million times to some sisters that I know and some sisters that I respect. Sister that I know pretty well and I respect. It basically admitted that she's biased towards women,
Yeah.
and being biased towards one group and coddling them and allowing them to get a pass just because of their gender. I want to say this to all women. I mean, I already knew the bias was there, but like it was actually there was an admission. It is like, bro, that doesn't help.
Yeah.
That does not help, especially to these women, very hard headed, you know, um, very self absorbed. Don't really listen to nobody. Can't nobody tell them nothing. You know, and look at the marital rate as the result. That should tell you. You don't have all the answers. In fact, you don't
Yeah,
have any of the answers. You
exactly.
dig? Mila Renee says no passes. That's why I rock with this sister. Mila Renee is heavy. You dig? Like, yo,
Yeah,
the sisters should really sit down and study Mila Renee and some of the things that she says because she's razor sharp. I can't think of anybody out here um, in some of these spaces sharper. You know what I'm saying? Because she's well rounded. She doesn't give anybody any passes. And, you know, popularity be damned. You know, a lot of these people in 13th grade, they just want to be popular. You know what I'm saying? But popularity be
True.
damned. Mila Renee gonna tell the truth. And
yeah,
that when we get a critical mass of people telling the truth, that's what's going to influence change. That's what's
yeah,
going to push us over the top. As long as we got all these people coddling people and making up excuses and shit, you know, nothing's going to change because nobody's going to feel like they need to grow. You know,
exactly.
nobody's going to feel like they need to change. So we got a lot
Correct.
of work, but you know, we all in it together. They wanted
Yeah,
to be strong women in their 20s, and I want to be soft girls in their 40s. BS.
yeah,
Well,
yeah. And here's the thing. Here's the
Mila
thing with that,
Renee.
right?
Uh-huh.
Here's the thing. I want to say something about what Mila Renee just said about
Yeah.
the. I feel like,
Some
and
of them in their
here's, I
50s.
think, I think a lot of this is coddling too, and it's a subconscious coddling that's going around.
Yeah.
I see a lot of women talking about soft girl era, and I think it's just a talking point. I think they're saying it as a talking point,
They are.
just to be along with the mass dialogue that's going on.
They're
Because I see a
followers.
lot of these women that say soft era, but still doing the same bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or still requesting the same BS. Like that
Hmm.
doesn't make sense. It sounds good. And that's why I say with guys, this is what we want you guys to understand is so you guys don't listen to lukewarm lullabies being sung in your ear and coming out, the fastness of your right ear.
Yeah.
Because what happens is a lot of these women are just saying what they want you to hear. And it's the
yeah.
same thing
Right.
how women sit back and say the same thing about fellas saying things that they want to hear. So women do the same thing men do as
Hmm.
well. Men don't pay attention to it as
Right.
much as women do. That's why we tell the fellas, don't go out here and get duped. When you see a lot of these women talk about soft girl era, I
Hmm.
always say this. They can talk a game, but does it match up with what they're doing? Does it
Watch what
match
they
up with
They
their
ain't
do.
about the
actions?
life,
You
Does
dig?
it match?
and
Does their
the rest of
actions
what they
match
saying
that?
too,
Yeah.
Yes.
and the rest of what they saying too, because this was predicted. I knew people who have been campaigning for this like years ago when they
Mhm.
were really trying. They were really out here trying to really work with sisters, the ones that were serious about changing and becoming better, really trying to
Yeah.
get them to migrate towards this. And they were saying back then that a lot of and they were the first people who also called it out as well too. They said the same women that used to clown us, used to call us pygmies for talking about living a soft life and getting away
Hmm.
from being masculine. The same women who were clowning now all of a sudden they try to retcon and to
Right.
repackage it. Now they're calling it soft girl era and stuff. All my soft girl era. Where were y'all back when we were talking about this?
Real talk.
And if you
As
listen
if
to
you
them,
could,
you can
as if
still
you could.
hear the conditional femininity when they talk about,
Yeah.
well, you
Exactly.
know, I'm soft girl era, I need a man who's going to, allow me to be in my feminine,
Ayanla did
or
that in
I
the
need to be able
interview.
to say,
Ayanla did that shit. People give her a pass, and that's why I said hell no the other day when you said her name, because Ayanla, she did exactly that thing. I would deal with the bus driver, and then she started. It was such a refreshing, different point of view after hearing this bougie jackass. Everybody was kind of happy, but then she goes to talk about how I'd have my little prenup on the side though, and I'd have my little separate money stashed away somewhere. That was slick.
Yeah, I caught
You
that.
dig?
Yeah,
That was slick. That's
I
not
caught that.
feminine. Yes, she's
I caught that.
chastising this woman for not being feminine, but at
Yeah,
the same time, she's doing the same thing.
she was I would say she was straddling the fence. We have we
Heavy,
have a couple
indeed,
we have a
indeed.
heavy,
couple of we have a couple of women on our page that straddle the fence. They'll say some
all the
good shit.
time.
and then they'll come back and be like, "Oh shit, I don't want to lose my woman power audience, so let me
Come on
say
now.
some stuff."
You know, let me go. Yeah.
Oh, hey, you gonna get some. You
Blue
gonna get some
man. Yeah,
inboxes tomorrow. You gonna get some inboxes tomorrow. Oh
Hey,
no, he didn't.
I'm
Oh,
the
Dear
chimney, bro. I'm
Anthony.
not
Dot
worried
dot
about
dot. I didn't appreciate that. Dot.
we still rock with you, fam. We still rock with you, though, fam. Hey,
Yeah, but we got there's a man. There's some few women on my page that do that shit, and I'm like,
straddle the fence all the time. It's like,
straddle the
bruh,
fence, man.
you ain't gonna teach women nothing if you keep with that bullshit. That's not helpful.
It's
You
not.
gotta, you
It's
gotta let
not.
it be. You gotta let it breathe.
And
You
here's the
dig?
thing. Here's the thing with straddling the
Miller
fence. Let
Renee
me
with
tell
that
you.
body blow.
Uh,
I saw that.
Miller Renee.
yeah,
with
yeah,
that with
she
that
did.
with that liver punch just now. I saw that.
Oh Lord. Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead,
So
Am.
here's the thing. When you straddle in the fence, and I want men and women to understand this, when you
Mm-hmm.
straddle the fence,
Mm-hmm.
you lose respect.
And
Let me tell you
credibility.
something. You
Mm-hmm.
lose respect.
Mm-hmm.
And why I say that is one thing about me, and I'm pretty sure this um, pertains to Bobby and Major as well, but I know for sure
Mm-hmm.
I get people that tell me this all the time. They'll call me, inbox me, email me, and they'll
Mm-hmm.
say, "Let me tell you something, Aunt. I might not fuck with everything you say, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you like this: I can depend on you to be one way and stand on your square.
There you go.
That I respect you for."
That is the difference
You know
between
what I'm
us and
saying?
them.
Boom.
Exactly. They say, I know what route you're gonna go because how your foundation is built. I
Yeah.
know which way or the stance you're going. And as much as I come and try to pick on your stance, you will not budge or you won't coddle me or you won't co-sign my shit. You'll
Mm-hmm.
tell me what the fuck it is, and you'll be
That's
like,
it.
we agree to
Boom.
disagree.
But
But you
they know
never
you solid.
respect, they
They know
never
you solid.
respect a person who switches sides. Let me tell you something. This is also very key for you guys in life
Mm-hmm.
because as Black folks, it's very important for you to be unapologetic and stand on your morals and square.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Let me tell you something. All that ass kissing that you be seeing all these boule people doing and all that,
Mm-hmm.
white people don't respect them.
They don't.
White people respect
At
me,
all.
Bobby, Drake, Mila, Lowell. White people respect people like that because they understand you're not gonna sell me out.
There you go.
I know who you are.
There you go.
I'll rock with you. I'll make money with you, but I know from start to finish where you lie.
Where
I
you stand.
know where your boundary is and what you won't pass. But the
Right.
motherfuckers that kiss ass will kiss ass with me and then go kiss ass with my enemy. So now I don't trust you because I don't know if you kissing ass to get my information to get my enemy. That's why they
Yeah.
always put
Yep.
their foot on the necks of bootlicks and sambos because they don't trust them. And
Well,
that's why
real talk.
they always say, white supremacy destroys their tools
All the
after
time.
they use it because they don't respect them.
Real
There
I'll
is
talk.
just
no
put that out.
retirement plan. There's no 401k. Ain't no golden parachute. Ain't no little retirement watch. Ain't no retire. There are no retirement benefits. No severance packages for Sambos.
Real
Exactly.
talk.
You get the full prostitute experience. They ride you hard as hell and put you
Mm-hmm.
away soaking wet. And they don't put you in the sun with you air dry. They put you in the dark, dank corner for you to get mold and all kind of rotten stuff setting in your system. They don't even put you in properly.
Yep.
It is. It is. Real talk,
No,
man.
there's no
Hey,
glory in that. Whatever heights you think you're gonna reach, going that avenue, I promise the low they got nothing on the lows you about to experience. It's gonna be like you've
real
never
talk.
had anything to show for it.
Uh-huh.
Definitely.
Shout out to brother
Well,
Arthur in the chat. That's what's up. We see you.
happy Father's Day to you
Happy
too,
Father's Day,
King.
brother. Yeah.
All right. So
Salute.
with that, we're gonna transition into our other powerful uh representative on stage. And let's see Bobby had to say on one of our highlight clips. And I think this is coming from Red Flag. So Bobby Drake was, this is a video in a response to Cruise Season. And Cruise Season is a dope podcast. We're going to do shows exposing and I wouldn't say exposing, but yeah, you could say exposing and showing notoriety to other podcasts that are doing great things out there, like the wifey podcast that we talked about last week.
Okay.
Um, their wifey podcast, yeah.
Dear, dear,
Mhm.
And
dear future wifey.
Cruise Season, yeah, Cruise Season is pretty good. I like Cruise Season.
All
Dude that
right.
be on there is pretty solid. And he was talking about, and this goes to what Major was saying earlier, um, about shooting it, going after what you want. Stop entertaining the BS. If you want a thorough woman, if you like a woman who has natural beauty, show her. Go on your
Yeah.
timeline, put pictures of women that have natural beauty, the Claire
That's all.
Huxtables, and all those women back in the days that had pure beauty. Throw them up there. Don't be
Mm-hmm.
sitting here putting the Nicki Minaj's and the Cardi B's on there, but then you talk about you want a different type of woman. Stop being contradicting in
Yeah.
your words and actions.
Mm-hmm.
Go after what you want. You know what I'm saying? You got a girl out here doing it, pull the trigger. Go
Yep.
after it. Hey, I want to make you mine. You rock with me. Do you rock with me? Good. Make it
And
happen.
stop
That's
settling.
that's what Major was talking about. Pull the trigger, make it happen. All right. So Bobby is basically breaking that stuff down in his response to the video of Cruise Season. So let's check this out.
Yeah.
On to it, and I said, you know what? Um, if this was where, if this would be my spouse, my mate,
Mhm.
if this is who she was from day one, if when I met her, when I bumped into her, when I first hopped on the social media, wherever I met her at, if this was the person I saw, and this kind of presentation was an issue for me, that wouldn't have been my spouse.
Mhm.
We never would have made it that far to begin with.
There you
As
go.
soon as I saw that this was the deal was, and I have done that. I've seen some folks, and I've seen something I didn't like. It may have been a post. I may have bumped into them. I heard some things that weren't becoming of them. I saw something that's like, yeah, that ain't for the streets. That's for the red light district. That's for the back alley. I'm cool on that. I've seen that, and I started pushing.
So definitely Bobby was kicking up.
Bobby
So
Drake with the sniper rifle. Yo.
That boy good.
elaborate more on
That
that,
boy
Bobby.
good. No,
Let them.
Woo!
just to piggyback off that, I try to as much as possible. I couldn't tell you how long I've been moving this way,
Yeah.
but for really as long as I can remember, um, mm, yeah, salute to
Yeah.
that. Um, for as long as I could remember, I've lived or tried to live by the principle of whatever it is you do, begin with the end in mind. You
Mm,
know,
Okay.
now, life is funny. Life has its own design sometimes. The saying goes, man makes plans and God laughs. There's other variation of that quote of that statement. So sometimes you might have a goal, you might have an objective, something that you want to accomplish, something that you want to do, and you know where you want to end up, but you don't always know how you're going to get there. So you might in your mind have trying to get from point A to point B, and somehow all the other letters in the alphabet, some of the numbers on the number line get tossed in the middle some kind of crazy way. But always begin with the end in mind.
mm,
So you might not have 100% control over what happens in the middle.
mm,
You might have a great plan laid out and things
mm,
go sideways. But if there's two things you need to have lined up, you need to have your start lined up properly, and you need to have your destination lined up properly.
mm,
That's
Those
all.
two things got to match.
mm,
So you talk about, damn, I'm hungry. I need to make a peanut butter jelly sandwich. You need to start with some bread. You need some
mm,
peanut butter somewhere, and you need at least a half of something or some jelly.
Mm.
Don't come talking about I want me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and you pulling out a damn pineapple. You got a bowl of oatmeal over here, and you got some cheese right over here. I don't know what you about to make. I don't know what you about to whip up, but ain't no way in powder blue hell you're gonna wind up with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I pay good money to see that. I'll drop a mortgage payment for front row seats of that show. I want to see this.
All right.
That's that Chris Angel, David Blaine level magic right there.
All
You about
right.
to take Vegas by storm. I want to see how that ends up. No,
Uh-huh.
if you're trying to get somewhere, you need to have your ducks lined up in a row as much as possible.
Yeah.
And even then, there's no guarantee that you're going to get there because, again, you don't have 100% control over the middle.
Yeah.
But you can damn sure make sure how you start something off is gonna at least be conducive to getting you to your end goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you looking at certain people, if you looking at certain red flags, I know that I want this. So on that conversation we were talking about mate selection and your spouse, what have you. If I know that I'm looking for a woman that's going to be a loving and nurturing significant other,
Yeah.
I know that this is the kind of woman that I want my son to go ahead and seek out when he's now looking to start his own family, to find his own wife as queen. If I know
Mm.
I'm looking for a woman who I want my daughter to emulate, I want this woman to be the first teacher of womanhood to my daughter, to
Mm.
my little girl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go and take up somebody who I know damn well exhibits none of those traits and characteristics.
Mm.
I know that she's at best only good for some fun or some recreation.
Mm-hmm.
At best, or in another case, she needs to be locked away in a cell with the key thrown away, and maybe have a cave in to barricade her from ever leaving. I know damn well that that's not who I need to be with.
Yeah.
Mm.
Real talk.
And unfortunately, a lot of people really go out here into this dating game, out into this pool, really trying to go ahead and do magic tricks. They trying to go ahead and take this bust down, beat down, unfit individual, or maybe you know what, and maybe it's not even that severe, but they're taking somebody who is not compatible with your vision. They don't fit the box for what you're trying to achieve,
Mm-hmm.
and yet somehow hoping that this person magically becomes the, stop it.
It's
And that's
insanity.
also why, and I definitely take my jabs at the dating pool. The dating pool definitely has a lot of poor water quality, a lot of undesirable things in the mix. But at the
Mm.
same time, that's also why I do not put 100% stock in the current lay of the land where it comes to things like divorce rates and everything else, because
Yeah.
I look and see what a lot of these people are doing, what they're not doing, and I'm like, you can't possibly expect to have taken this approach. I'm not saying I have the perfect one, but what you did and what you didn't do, you can't possibly really be honest with yourself that you performed your due diligence, that you took
Mm.
all the right steps, that you got your bread and your peanut butter and your jelly properly, and expected that you were going to get the optimum outcome. There's no way.
Mm.
No way. Real talk. Real
So
talk.
that's
Yeah.
why I'm so big on that concept. Just begin with the end in mind. You know what you want to achieve, you know what you want to acquire, what you want to develop. Get your building materials in order. And if you
Mm.
don't have them yet, that's okay. But do your due diligence. Wait till you have your pieces lined up. And now that
Yeah.
you're in now that you have all the materials necessary for what you're trying to pull off, wait for your opportunity. They
Real
say
talk.
that they say that luck is an actual thing. That luck is a form. There's a recipe for luck. It's
Mm.
opportunity plus preparation.
Real
So
talk.
you do your preparation, do your due diligence. You have your ducks lined up in a row. Now you sit back, wait for your opportunity. If you're unable to create one for yourself, and
Mm.
when you're up to bat, you best not miss.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
That's real, brother.
Yeah.
Look, I just want to add in one quick thing. I'm not gonna be long. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that made me think back to the dude who getting the lap dance that we talked about in the video on the last video. You know what I'm saying? You up
Mm.
here making fun of this woman, but she's all over you, and you got a big old shit eating grin on your face. You know what I'm saying? Simply
Yeah.
put,
Don't rock with her. Don't give her the time of day. Too many of us out there do not value ourselves, and we treat trash as treasure. I put up a post earlier this week talking about that. This dude trying to tongue kiss what Sukihana. Come on, bruh. What are we doing? Yeah, really? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you serious? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They're talking about all this type of, sexual assault stuff or whatever. And I don't know if I would take it that far. I wouldn't call it sexual assault, but it's something he shouldn't have done. You know what I'm saying? And he shouldn't have to be told that he shouldn't be doing that. You
Yeah.
got to reel yourself in, brothers. Everything that look good for you ain't good for you. It's just
Mm.
having discipline and just being a mature adult at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't be his spouse. Why?
Mm.
Because she ain't qualified, goddammit. What more does it take? You understand what I'm saying? What more does it take, brothers? I see us out here all the time talking about how we can't stand our baby mama. We hate that bitch, this, that, the third, that, she ain't shit. But you impregnated her.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't, some of these chicks that y'all got babies from, I wouldn't be seen with at Walmart. Real
Mm.
talk. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? We need to start valuing ourselves and valuing our seeds. Because once you impregnate one of these women, bro, it's over. I mean, not
It's a permanent
over,
problem.
but you're gonna have a lot of problems when you
No, it's over.
impregnate. I don't.
No, 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 no,
I
no,
think
no,
there's
no,
still
no, no,
redemption.
don't lie to them. It's not over. You
It's
now have a permanent ball and chain attached
yeah,
to this person. You
yeah,
will, as long as you were in this child's life, and
yeah,
even that you're not in the child's life, because the long arm of child support is a very real thing.
yeah,
You will forever be attached to this person. You won't be able to go to no birthdays without this person being around.
yeah.
Graduation, forget about it. This person gets married, they there. They end up in the
It's a
hospital. Your child in the hospital. You got to go make decisions. Now you got to talk to this person about last arrangements and everything. You are bound to this person.
it's
And
bad,
what trips me out is the idea that out of the two of the most major decisions that you can make in your life, who you get married to and who you have children with, only one of these things is irreversible.
right?
If you get
Real talk.
married to somebody, you can annul the marriage within the first year,
Mm-hmm.
unless that's changed. You can annul the marriage within the first year,
Yeah,
like it never even happened.
yeah.
If it goes beyond that, you can get divorced from this person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can shop the line that attaches you two together. You
Mm.
cannot undo parenthood.
Real talk.
You two will forever be linked through this human being or these human beings that you've created. There will always be the proof right there.
And this is the one that these
That's
dumb
it.
niggas always choose. Yeah.
And the
It-
one and the permanent option is the one that y'all play
that
loose
you
with. But the
choose.
one that actually is impermanent, man, I don't know about all that. Are you stupid?
Yes. The short answer is yes. You
Did you
dig?
Were you dropped on your head as a child and hit every single step on the way down I don't know. What are
The
you
short
doing?
answer is yes. Bruh. And I might hurt some
Use
feelings with that.
this.
Yeah, bruh. I'm gonna hurt some feelings
Good,
with that. And
good.
that's good.
Let it hurt.
That's
Pain,
good.
pain is a good teacher.
Yep. Some of y'all,
Pain,
man, y'all gotta
pain is
tighten up.
necessary.
Value your seed. If not, man, I could never
Words
see that
create
shit.
lies. Pain can
Hmm.
be trusted. Trust the pain. Listen to the
Real
pain.
talk.
It will not
Yeah.
steer you wrong.
There you
I
go.
hope it hurts. Let it
I hope it
sizzle
hurts
in
too.
your spirit. I hope you get
And that's
indigestion.
and that's the difference between us and some too. We don't coddle nobody. It's just gotta burn, and that's
Mm.
how people learn. Real shit.
Yeah. Yeah. They always say a hard head make a soft ass. So um,
Well,
that's one of the phrases that I used to hear a lot growing up. So
Yes, sir.
it's part of reality. So definitely going into this next video
Yeah.
um, was one of the dopest segments we had because it was our first guest, and we learned so much. And
Oh
I
man.
personally, I personally took this clip because I had said something and I got corrected on it.
Mm-hmm.
When I talked about people being broken, the
Yeah.
therapist correct me on it, and he told me in the thing he was telling us that we got to be mindful of the words we use, and that is so true because I'm always a person who always talks about be careful of your choices of words because your words are very powerful and they're spelled, so you don't want to use the wrong vocab for something that will spell wise make it real difficult for people to not understand the clarity behind it.
Yeah.
So when he talked about that, I got corrected on air, and it
I
was a
loved it.
learning lesson. It was a learning lesson for me, and that's
Great
something
exchange.
now. Instead of me sitting back and saying people are broken, I'm going to use the terminology he used as a therapist. He said use unhealthy. So when you run across people that you feel is broken, instead of saying the word broken, just use the word unhealthy. And you guys need to go and check this episode out. It's super dope.
Excellent.
The therapist
Absolutely.
Matt Genius is super dope, and we're going to do events with him. When we have events in the future, we're going to incorporate him in a couple of our events
Yeah.
because he is so dope that
Yeah.
I think our community and our brothers, especially, y'all need this because a lot of times we don't want to go to therapy because a lot of people look like they judge you. And one thing about black men, they don't want to open up and be judged.
Yeah.
So Matt comes in with this, like he says, his initial thing is to make you feel safe. That's
Yeah.
his number one job. Whether you call him or you're around him, he makes you feel safe. I felt safe just dialoguing with this man. I felt
Yeah,
like
man.
he was my brother, my uncle. I
Absolutely.
felt like he was just family the whole time he was on stage with us. So I took this clip out and I want you guys to see it. But you guys go watch the video itself because he goes more in depth. So I'm gonna just give you a little short clip of what he was saying.
Have to stop seeing ourselves as damage,
Mm,
meaning it doesn't matter where you are. All of us, like you said, either all of us are damaged or none of us are damaged,
yeah.
And so that's a language issue that sometimes we sometimes own up to too easily.
Mm,
Damaged goods, whether you're a man or a woman, that's not what you are.
mm,
That's not what you are. You are valuable exactly where you are. And
mm,
it takes a person such as yourself and to see that value in that person
mm,
sometimes to assist.
mm,
But now let me give some freedom to a lot of men and women out there who are listening. If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, and take this to the bank, please cash this in immediately. That person's emotions are not your responsibility.
mm.
And it may sound harsh, man, but listen, as an adult, another adult's emotions are not your responsibility. It's
Yeah, definitely.
Bruh,
Super
that
dope.
was $1 million worth of game in 30 seconds, bruh.
That's
Yeah,
Shit. Listen.
yeah.
that's exactly what
Just
he
go.
said too. Liberating.
Woo, listen.
Liberating. And I know
And I'm
personally, I didn't say it then, but I know personally, that's a road I've been down before. And when I say that it's tiring, it's not even tiring. Tiring is lightweight. It's draining. It is
It
depleting.
is.
yes.
It is
Mm-hmm.
like it is pouring into a never-ending pit. You can't even see the bottom. You can't hear the. You don't even know if what you're pouring out is even reaching the bottom. It's just nothing.
Yeah.
It's just it is depleting. So that right there, I hope that that makes it to people who need to hear that, who need to get their release, because those people who are trying to hang in there, they think that they're doing a favor, they feel like this is their obligation and it's their mission or whatever. Don't do it.
Yeah, man.
There's
Real
other
talk.
ways to help. That's not your assignment. You don't got the tools for that. You don't have you ain't built for that. That's not your assignment.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm,
can there's other ways that you can help and that you can be a support system, but that ain't it. All that's going to do, trying to take that burden off yourself, is going to ensure that it's going to be not one but two unhealthy people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now the
Yeah.
first responder got to come, and instead of one person they got to administer aid to, now they got two people to help out now.
mm-hmm.
Man.
I'm
Powerful.
so glad to hear him say that, particularly to you, Aunt, because
Yeah.
you are like the nicest person,
Thank you.
and you're so giving, and you just want to help everybody. I can imagine, you know, in a relationship environment, what that looks like. It must be that same thing on steroids a trillion times over, right? And you and I have had some conversations. You know what I'm saying? And I worry about, how nice you are in that capacity. But to hear this person say it
Mhm.
in the way that he said it, so unapologetically with his credentials, you understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's weight. That's weight, and it's going to resonate better. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to
I, I
stick. And
I think I did, and I think that, and I don't know if that was a 100% conscious decision, but I
yeah,
think at least subconsciously, that's what that section is what you gravitated towards to pull out. And also, I don't think it's necessarily a coincidence during the dialogue during the show that you were the one who said something that he picked up on and it led to that. So I
mm,
definitely feel as though that that was definitely for everybody, but I definitely feel that there was a piece of that that was divinely intended for you.
Yeah.
I'm not
that
gonna
was a
get too deep in the
moment,
weeds with it, but I don't know if he was even aware of it. Too. I think there was a lot of because again we don't rehearse this. We don't have any powwow meetings where we
right?
come and we go over all this dialogue and stuff. And if, literally we come up on here and you want to talk about freestyling, we
Yeah,
come up here. This is all organic. So the fact that
That's
all
all.
four of us could have been on this stage, I don't believe any of us have spoken to Matt outside of Anthony before. So
yeah,
at
Yeah.
least three of us were strangers to each other.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For this to pop out, I'm not a person that's big in coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really believe in that. I definitely believe that there was something behind that, and I hope that that's something that lingers with you for the rest of your life. Because I definitely picked up on a lot of gems, including that from him
That was
myself. So
great. That was my
that
favorite
was major
exchange.
for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my favorite exchange in the whole show. And you know what, too? I just want to commend you and for the way that you responded to that and the way that you responded to other such moments, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing that's really really good about you, man, and I appreciate it and I really respect it. You don't have this defensive, oh, I gotta put my dukes up now. No, you listen to what the man said and you're like, you know what? He got something there. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And like you take it in, and I'm sure you'll use that to your benefit going forward. That's something that's always going to stay with you, and that's because you allowed yourself to receive it. A lot of us, our ego too damn big. What this nigga telling me? But you don't ever do that bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like that. That gives you hella credibility. You know what I'm saying? Because being able to humble yourself and take what somebody's saying and listen, like you say all the time, listen to understand, not listen to
Not to respond.
respond in
Yep.
real time and play
Mhm.
that back. You know what I'm saying? And give it to the
Correct.
people as a message says a lot about your character. Salute.
Definitely. Appreciate
100.
that.
Yay.
Like I always tell children that I mentor or young adults or people that I talk to on a daily.
Mm.
Um, I'm not perfect. I
Yeah.
never profess that I am. And
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a person that wants to learn. And
No doubt.
only way you can grow is learn. I have people that tell me stuff and I'll be like, I never knew that. And they be like, damn, I thought you knew everything. And I said, who told you that I knew everything? I don't know everything.
Who
I
knows
said,
everything?
you just taught me
I've gotten
something a
hit with that
while
a few
ago.
times too. I'm like,
Who
yeah,
knows
I
everything?
just learned that.
I got hit with
Yeah.
that a million times actually. Yeah, shit.
Yeah. So
But
I'm
once
But
you
like,
the more you learn, if you're really a student, you understand
yes,
that the more you learn, the more you find out you don't know a damn thing. Like, man,
uh-huh.
exactly.
Real
if you
talk.
And
think I got a whole
here's
ton of knowledge, then you don't want to sit where I'm at right now because I'm looking at this big old pit. Like, Jesus, who gonna take all this in?
Yeah.
yes. So here's the thing. And my dad, happy Father's Day, Heavenly Father's Day to my dad. Exit out of this world in 2018. But my dad
Mm.
always told me, uh, every time he see me, he always tell me, you know, when you're in a room with people, no matter who it is, or you encounter a stranger, always pick their brain. I'll sit here and have a dialogue with a homeless person and pick the homeless person's brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the most powerful scenes in the movie was, and one of my favorite Tyler Perry movies ever was A Family That Prays.
Mm-hmm.
And in the movie, the lawyer was homeless, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was part of the firm. They kicked him out. He had nowhere to go. He ended up losing everything. And the mother of the restaurant, her struggling restaurant, and then her daughter comes in and was like, "Why are you feeding this homeless man? We barely got food for ourselves." And she was just like, "Listen, you know, we could be at a point where we don't have that meal ourselves. So, you know, it ain't gonna hurt nobody for him to sit back and eat." And he was so ashamed. He was like, because he felt the energy was like he was barging in on what they were doing, and he kind of felt bad and he kind of left. But he actually was giving her financial information that later on in the movie she ended up becoming a millionaire because of his information. Then they got secretly put on the board, you know what I'm saying, to overtake the board, and he got back his job. And also he ended up, they showed him where he went and bought his home again. He purchased another home.
No
So
doubt.
it goes to show you, like, you don't know what is in people's brains.
You
You
don't?
might look at them and judge them and be like, man, they don't know nothing. And you'll be surprised of what information they know. So
Real
my
talk.
dad always
Yeah.
told me, pick the brain of whoever you come across. Always pick their brain, because you just never know what you might pull out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept that saying, and I just, you know, elaborated on it. So anytime I hear somebody tell me something and I feel like I can improve on myself with it, I'm all ears. And I tell people
Mm-hmm.
all the time, as much as I seem like a gift for gab, I actually enjoy listening more than I do talking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that we don't have enough powerful voices to talk. So I just stepped in and start talking. But I love to listen though. You know what I'm
No
saying?
doubt.
So that's how that goes.
All right.
All right. So
Yeah.
with that being said, we're gonna come to our we're going to go into our segment, which is hell nah and hell yeah. Okay,
Yo.
okay, okay.
Yo.
Let's do it.
Let's
Let's do it.
Let's get
All
it.
right. Let's get it. All right. Hell no, hell yeah. All right. First up, Anita Baker. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna give her a hell yeah, because you dig the past. She's a legend. She's a killer vocalist. But she
Oh
on
gosh.
crack. She on crack this week. You did.
Oh
I
Lord.
knew it was.
You part of the
I,
baby face. You part of the baby
I,
face feud now. You mad because she kicked
I
baby
was
face
waiting for
off?
that other shoe to drop.
It
I
ain't
was
Oh,
waiting
even,
for the other
man.
shoe to drop.
Listen, I'm just fair. You dig? Like, she jumped out the window with Babyface for no goddamn reason. What is wrong with this lady,
no, let me
sister?
tell you something. I'm gonna tell you this.
Uh
I rock with Anita. You know why I rock with Anita?
oh.
If you guys remember, I don't know if you guys remember Babyface. Babyface went at it with who? RJ? Who he went at it with
I
in the
forget.
verses? He went
Oh
at it
no,
with
Teddy Riley.
Teddy Riley.
Teddy
Teddy
Riley.
Yeah, there
Riley.
you
Okay. You didn't notice that? I don't know personally, or I never had seen this side of Babyface, but
Yeah,
during that whole thing, he was very arrogant and cocky.
he was.
That dude, and I've heard stories since that came out
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Babyface is very arrogant and cocky. And I
So
saw that and I was like, yo, this dude might not be the lover boy that we think he is. This dude might be some damn Ike Turner behind the scenes and some fucking shit in
Look,
the
look,
some of
dog.
these people. Look, the
maybe
industry got
so,
a million different stories, man. It's all
maybe
kind of stuff.
so.
The truth
But
ain't
in
never
this
really been told, man.
But in this instance, man, she's getting hot over his fans coming for her, and all he did was just tell his fans, "Hey, he in a very respectful way, he was asked not to engage, whatever," and she just jumped out the window. It was her, bro. This time,
No, but what I'm saying is that it had to be. This is Anita, dog. It had to be a reason. Babyface
bro.
pushed buttons, buddy, and then
Let me.
went to his fans. He pushed the buttons and went to his fans, and now his fans attacking. And you gotta watch. You gotta
Nah,
watch people
bro.
like that.
But if we
don't
talk
know.
about
Could
diva,
be.
I don't know.
but listen,
Could be.
Anita,
Mm.
as much as I like her music, as much as I enjoy her, everybody says Anita Baker is a pill, bruh. Everybody.
I could
So
also believe. I think as is with a lot of things, the truth is somewhere in the middle. I think it could be that Mr. Edmonds out here getting his best. Hi, my name is Bob, and I work at a button factory vibe going on. And I think it is a bit of Anita with the diva songstress ego at work too.
yeah,
And I think we got us a perfect storm where now we got a tornado out the mix. I think it's a mix
Bobby
of both of
Drake,
them.
Bobby
Yeah,
Drake is Switzerland in this joint. You dig? So
I'm
okay,
yeah,
I
I'm
see you.
I'm just saying because I could, like I said, I can see both of those things. I could definitely
I
see her, and especially being as big as she's been for as long as she's been.
yeah,
Always spoken highly of. Music's always been highly rated.
yeah.
Very much about her craft. If you told me right now that she was a diva, I could get that. I can understand that, and I'm
yeah,
not even knocking her for that either.
yeah,
Okay,
She's earned that. I'm gonna give her
okay.
that.
yeah.
I'm
I,
gonna let her own that.
I
I
agree with
still
Being
give
the
Bobby.
her a
queen, I'm
hell
gonna give her
yeah.
that. And
I
Mr.
I
agree.
Edmonds, I give him that too, because
yeah.
he's babyface. Man, helped
I
define
agree.
an era.
Yeah, I agree with Bobby. I think it's the ego of both of them, and then she
Uh,
just
Yeah,
got back. She just got back her royalties, so she
yeah.
she never
that too.
had rights to her music till this year.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think that was like I got to get back all the money over the 20 years that they've been pimping me. So
Yeah.
probably the
That makes
ego
a lot
of
of
that
sense
probably
too.
crashed too. Yeah,
All
so
right.
I
Look,
think
the reality is you can't be on top of the game, reach the highs that artists like that have reached for as long as you've been there without having some level of ego. You can't be humble per
yeah,
se and have stay in power like that because the
yeah,
industry is a monster. If
All
you
yeah,
right.
ain't got that, if you ain't got that mentality, you're not gonna. It's just what it is.
Fair
Because
enough.
there's a whole ton of talented people that ain't stand the test of time. So to be in there
yeah.
taking them blows, yeah,
All
All
right.
right.
Go
hell
ahead,
So
yeah,
man.
Anita Baker.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Me too.
Star Wars. Hell yeah. I like
Hell
Star Wars.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah,
I do
hell yeah.
R2D2. I
It's
always
a
been a fan
hard
of
hell yeah.
R2D2.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm a Vader fan.
yeah, a Vader.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah,
He's
I
your
like all
father.
the characters. I like every
Happy
last one of
Happy
them.
Father's Day to
Even
Darth Vader because he's everybody's father.
yeah, even what's his name? Bubba Fiett. I like
Okay.
him
Bubba,
too.
Bubba that
Yeah.
dude. He about that
Yeah.
Yeah.
life.
So it's
Palpatine.
I like their whole cast.
Yeah.
Boyce Watkins. Yeah, I like Boyce
Hell
Watkins.
yeah.
Yeah, I fucks with Boyce
Shout out
Watkins.
to Dr. Boyce. Dr. Boyce
Anybody doing stuff like
Hell
that,
yeah.
financial literacy for our
is a
peoples,
big
man.
deal out here.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely a big thing.
I rock with
Uh,
him.
Disney, hell no, hell
Hell no.
no.
Hell no. They got too much going on, man. I like some of their movies, but the other shit going
Yeah.
on is it's a bit
Yeah.
much. You dig?
Listen, Disney,
Yeah.
Disney, if you out there watching me, and I hoping to get big with Manversations,
Abigail.
and y'all want, you know what I'm saying, to do a deal with them boys, I'll get out the deal. They'll do the contract. I ain't doing no deal with Disney. I'll put that on everything right now. I'm telling you now, I
Woo!
ain't doing no deal with Disney.
Um.
Damn it, man.
Anybody with
Nope.
the pedo affiliation, I don't want nothing to do
I
with
hear
you.
you, bro.
Good off that.
I'm not too polite to tell Abigail Disney where she can go, and I'll give her direction and instructions on how to beat traffic there too.
You dig?
All right. Force. Power Book 4. Hell yeah.
Hell
Fuck
yeah.
yes.
Hell yeah.
Fuck
It
yeah.
started off. It
I,
I'll give
started
it hell
off
yeah.
bad,
I like
but
Tommy, dog. I
yeah,
fucks with
Tommy's
Tommy.
a beast.
I
He's a
fucks with
beast.
Tommy. That's a
I would
white boy
watch
I
the
fucks with.
bruh. I watched the show just to see Tommy's acting. This
Yeah,
dude is a
I fucks
fool,
with Tommy.
and he's funny as hell too.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is. He's
hell
funny.
yeah.
I fucks with Tommy.
What you say,
I'm
Um,
Bob?
not. I'm not a huge Power fan as far as the
yeah.
series
Uh-huh.
goes. But I give it a hell yeah because of what it's doing for the greater entertainment picture. And it's funny
Mhm.
enough that you bring that up because there was a debate that I was looking at where some people were kind of talking about how you know we don't need more of these drug shows, these gang shows. That's all we put out. We don't have any other content.
Mhm.
And I agree with that. I said, I definitely
Mhm.
feel like we definitely need to be putting some other stories out there. Absolutely.
Mhm.
But at
Yeah,
the same time, considering what 50 is doing and at the level he's doing it,
Mhm.
making top quality content, if this stuff is going to be out there, then first off, I would rather have it come from us. That's one.
Mhm.
true.
Mhm.
Second of all, um, the reason why it's making such big waves is because nobody else that looks like us is doing this.
Real
Mhm.
talk.
So
Real talk.
I've got to be honest. If you're that bothered, if you're that triggered by seeing this, because I really don't recall these kind of arguments getting placed out there when non-black people are making this content.
Yeah.
Leave
Come
that
on
there for
now.
now.
Come on
I'm gonna
now.
leave that there.
Come on.
I didn't drop that to start another conversation. We can pick that up another day,
Hey,
but I don't see
Mhm.
that getting brought up when other people are putting it out there.
that's
Yeah.
solid.
That's true.
But if you are that bothered and that stricken by what Mr. Brother Jackson is putting out, please go ahead, build up your war coffers, and drop your own content that's as
Mhm.
good in terms of quality
Or
and
better.
most important, good in terms of storyline. It's compelling. You
Mm-hmm.
have thoughtful, engaging characters that people can get behind. Characters that the people can love, characters that people can hate, and characters
Mhm.
that have people feeling some kind of way. Go
No
ahead, put
doubt.
that kind of content out there, and we'll support it.
Yeah.
But for the
Sure thing.
meantime, if this is the road that needs to be taken, because you have to understand, once you have a lane, others can come behind you. There's never been a highway that's only served one car. One car had to be the first to go down the highway, but after the first car, others could go after it.
There you go.
Correct.
So
Correct.
let the man cook. Yes, it's more dope content. Okay, we get it. Let the man cook, pun intended.
Mm.
And once he's done, once that lane is nice and wide open, it's all paved and everything else. Go ahead, get your vehicle. You send it on through next.
There you go.
Mhm.
All
But
right.
somebody
Exactly.
has to be first, and if this is what's going to hit, because keep in mind, there's also other levels to this as well too. You also have to supply content that people want. The very
Yeah.
fact that the show is doing so damn well and so successful means that there's a market that people want to see this.
No doubt.
True.
So you
Very
That's
can't
true.
what
just
it
go
is.
and say, you know what? People don't shouldn't be watching this content. People need to be getting behind content where they give book reviews. That's what the people need to see. They need to see book reviews. I'm going to create a show that's going to be real good about book reviews, and no one watches it.
No
Yeah.
doubt. No doubt.
What
Exactly.
have you done? You're gonna have to start easing down that road because that's what people have a taste for. But gradually, you're gonna have to be able to get them to wean off of that. But you have to start out with something they're gonna be able to get behind, and that's gonna create more opportunities and more people open to seeing new and different content from these different persons. So let the man cook, and then we can go ahead and build off of that. But every single TV station you see out here now, it started with one show,
True.
and then others came up behind us. So not a fan of Power personally, but for Brother Chris
Mhm.
Jackson, bang my gavel, hell yeah.
Well said.
Definitely. Definitely. I like the fact that between him and Tyler Perry, that a lot of black actors are getting work that they normally would have been out of work for.
Mm.
So that's a very positive thing. A
All
lot of
right.
these actors are getting work and supporting their family that they would never get the opportunity for in the mainstream Hollywood sense.
Mm.
So that's always a good thing. Lacoste shoes. Uh,
Hell yeah.
yeah, they
Hell
all
yeah.
right.
I
They're
like a
good.
car.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
if
Salute
it's
to
a hell
Rennie
yeah, but it's a
Lacoste.
yeah.
they are. Yeah.
It's all right.
It's funny, I haven't really seen too much of there's a time when Lacoste used to be the thing. I haven't seen a whole bunch of it recently, but
Me neither.
I always like the style. Real
I
classic.
like
I'm a minimalist anyway, so real classic,
Yeah.
timeless designs, good nice,
He,
dope colors. Playing
Yeah.
lines, I like it. You stand out without being all obnoxious. I like it. I
It
give
was
it a hell
dope,
yeah.
yeah.
You mostly find it when you wear they're like boat shoes, so you wear them with the nice little
Oh yeah, like
shorts, the little polo shorts and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
absolutely.
yeah. So it's probably why you don't see it as much because these dudes got on skinny jeans and their asses. I don't know. Now these niggas wearing panties and shit. So you know.
Woo!
All
You
right.
can't wear
So
that at brunch.
Hey, don't hold back.
MCM. Nah,
Hell yeah.
nah.
That's my
MCM.
joint.
Yeah.
That's my joint.
What you got? What you got? What do you call that? Stash? What do you call that? Satchel? Satchel?
Nah, I
You
got a
got an
couple
MCM satchel?
I got a couple MCM shoes.
Oh, okay.
The satchel's too much like a purse. So I got a couple of them shoes, you did? We ain't
I
doing that
clowned
shit.
I clowned my homeboy last night. He was in we was at Tootsie's and that they had on. I said, "Damn, bro, you got your purse on you?" And he like, man, don't start that shit. He's like, my wife always say, my wife always say, what do you say? He said, my wife says before I left the house, hey, you made sure you got your purse.
We ain't doing that shit.
She out of
You
pocket.
dig?
Oh man, that is funny as hell. All right, Ice Cube, hell yeah, fuck
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
Ice Cube,
One of the
definitely,
best lyricists in the creation of in the history of hip hop. One of the best
yes,
lyricists in the history of hip hop. Ice Cube.
definitely,
Once
legend.
again, not like we need the validation or we need to get confirmed from anybody else, but it
Yeah.
Mhm,
has been officially designated. Shout out to Brother Cube for
mhm.
being the official first owner of the first ever black professional sports league with the big
Yes,
three.
That's what's
Salute
exactly.
to
up.
that.
Shout out to that brother.
Salute to that. I know when he first started, there's a whole lot of people casting aspersions, talking
Hmm.
slyly. Oh, don't nobody want to see that, man. You do something for with your money,
Yeah,
but still
Hey,
here. He's still
hey.
standing the test of time.
Shout
Cube has
out to that
proven that
brother.
he's been a man of vision. He sees the big picture even when other people don't see it when they doubting him. He's proven
yeah,
that he has what it takes to go out there, bet on himself.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big takeaway right there for all the brothers out there. When you
I
know you've handled business, when you know you thorough, you've done your
yeah.
preparations, you've lined up your ducks, you've begun with the end in mind. Just talked about that
Hmm.
earlier. Once you've done that, and you know that you've done the right things, go ahead, pull out them big face hundreds, pull out the dice, bet on yourself.
It
Yeah.
is. And
Bet on
Always,
yourself.
I think.
two small
What?
things. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying what people need to understand about Ice Cube is the unapologetic spirit has never died since he left, since he started with NWA till today. He's
Mm-hmm.
always had that unapologetic kiss my ass spirit and
No
always
doubt.
been providing for his people. So
Mm-hmm.
he'll always be a forever rider for me.
And so my thing in closing, I just want to point out this brother's been with his queen for what, like 20 years, happily
Yes.
married. I'm sorry,
Yes.
30 years with his queen, you dig?
Yeah.
Happily married, and definitely one of the greatest writers, not just in hip hop, but
Hmm.
generally of all
Yeah.
time. This man writes movies. He writes, of course, he wrote for everybody in NWA. He wrote for himself.
Hmm.
This man is a monster
Yeah.
talent. Shout out to Ice Cube.
We don't we
Definitely.
when we talk about Renaissance men, we really don't talk about Cube enough. He
Yeah.
deserves that respect.
Yeah, yeah,
And
Exactly.
he's
real
proven that he
talk.
can keep it popping in different eras. He's big in the '90s, big in the thousands, big in the
Mhm.
tens, and in the '20s. He's still doing it. It's hard to be that successful, and not. It's hard to be that successful consistently in one area. It's hard to stay
Yeah.
on top. But to be doing multiple things, music, you doing
Sick,
movies, and Hollywood is a beast. That's a
sick.
Yeah.
different monster.
Hmm.
And then with the sports industry, and he's at the top. You don't
Crazy.
do that if you don't have that vision, if you don't have that work ethic, that drive, that spirit, if you're not there.
Right.
Yes.
That brother,
Real talk.
they need to drop one hell of a biopic about him when all is said and done.
Yeah,
He's earned
Definitely.
that.
agreed. Agreed.
Sloppy Joe sandwich. Fuck no.
Hell
Hell
no.
no.
That's some of the
Hell no.
nastiest shit I've ever tasted. Oh,
Bobby looked like he
hell
tear
no.
that shit up when he was young. Bobby, you taught him
Hell
those
yeah.
lines.
Y'all ain't had no good sloppy Joe. That's the problem.
I'll pass. I'll
That's the
pass.
problem right there, man.
Bobby was like, "What y'all talking about?"
Hey,
Bobby
I'm
was like,
like,
"Let me get the rest of yours."
where did you eat your cornbread?
Reggaeton. Hell no.
Hell no.
Nah, fuck.
Hell no.
Bobby, let me tell you something.
Hell
I
yeah.
don't like no reggae. That's the reggae mixed with like some hip hop. No, that's no
Look, it
it's
got the
no
sa-
authentic.
it got the
It's
same damn one or two beats, but I'm gonna tell you like this.
All
yeah.
right.
I will be damned if Danza Kuduro comes on and I don't move something.
What the
Listen,
fuck?
Poppy, I tell you this.
If that if that joint come on,
I like the authentic Spanish music, the muchata, merengue, salsa. That's what I do, Papi. This?
if
No, no, no. I
oye,
know.
These
I
are
oye,
like it
something
is.
Felipe,
else,
I
Papa.
don't
oye,
like
oye,
it is. I
Felipe,
don't like it is.
Felipe,
This? No, I don't like
escucha,
it.
escucha,
Yeah.
Felipe, escuche, papi.
Dime, mi papi. Dime.
Reggaeton, that beat do something to you and say make you go
No, no, listen. You gotta push and this and push that. Listen, you gotta just salsa, man. That's where the romance come from. Salsa.
ah.
Okay, that shit is imitation reggae.
All
All them
right.
damn songs got the same beat.
It's reggae with
Nah,
a very
bro.
aggressive beat. Look, hey, like I said, if Danza Kuduro comes on, move out my way.
You
Might
tripping,
catch your
dog.
elbow or something.
You tripping, man.
All right.
Danza Kuduro, hey,
Tupac Shakur.
Hell
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Fuck yeah. Hell
Shout out. Happy
yeah.
belated
large
birthday.
hell and a large yeah.
Dr. Shakur, the GOAT.
Yeah, definitely. Tupac could get that all day.
All day.
Uh,
Monster.
definitely. Harlem Nights. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
spin my pinky toe.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Classic,
Definitely.
timeless joint.
Yes, that's
man.
timeless.
You can't beat that. All-star cast. Oh,
Yeah,
I need to watch that again, matter of fact. It's been too long.
hell yeah. That's one of the
definitely.
movies you watch every now and again, every few months. You pull that bitch out and watch it.
Super
Don't
necessary.
don't shoot that small motherfucker. All right, shooters. Shooters,
Hell
which
yeah.
one?
Hell
That's
yeah.
what's that? The restaurant or?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yes. Oh
Was
yeah,
that Shooters
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Waterfront?
Shooters.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, shooters. I could do.
Uh,
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
shooters is nice.
I haven't been
Shooters.
there so long. I completely forgot what that place is like.
What?
It's
Oh, man.
overlooking the little
On the water.
seaway. Yeah, it's like a
I took
seaway.
I
my mom
vaguely
there for
remember I
Mother's
had a
Day.
good experience. I think I had a good experience last time I was there, so I'm gonna give it a hell yeah. But I haven't even heard that name brought up in forever.
Woo,
Definitely.
man. It's so nice.
Forrest Whitaker. Hell yeah.
Hell
Fuck yeah. That's
yeah.
my dude, man.
One of the
I
greatest
like
actors of
Great,
Forrest
all
Whitaker.
time.
greatest
Definitely
Monster.
like
lazy eye in the history of lazy eyes, man.
Forrest. I
That
like
man is a
Forrest.
monster. He's a beast.
I
All
still
right.
can't believe he
Suki.
has a brother. I found out like 2 3 years ago I found out
Oh yeah, he got a brother.
Forrest got a brother like 2 or
Yeah.
3 years ago. That still blows my mind to this day. Like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
It
That's
is.
crazy. Yeah.
wow.
Suki Hana. Hell no.
Hell no. Bruh.
No. No.
I'm about to cut
Boy.
this camera off.
No.
Don't ask me no nonsense like that.
Like I was like, listen, if
This
Suki
repulsive.
I shut this whole thing
but
down right now. Don't play with me.
This repulsive.
ever since this incident came out, I found out that she was twerking on a little child. I didn't know she twerked on a little
Yeah.
child in the video. So that
Oh,
really
they'll
had
never
me
tell you.
so disgusted with Suki. I don't even want to.
But
I'm
she
good
want to
off.
talk about her space.
Yeah, I'm good
She's
off.
a disgusting human being, and
Sick.
all the way around. She's the if attention whores were in a fighting game like a Street Fighter or Tekken, she would be the final boss.
Real
When you
talk.
defeat all the other attention whores out there, you gotta take this one on too. She is absolutely loathsome and disgusting. Um, and to be honest, the whole situation that what's the president YK Osiris, I think
Yeah.
Mhm.
I f- her whole thing is appealing to the lowest, basest, most degenerate energy that's out there. And
Hmm.
that's why you got dudes, because I've seen apparently other footage that saw a video not just of this, but there's also one that people are trying to drum up to the same level of outrage. They can't do it because there's no physical component to it. But
Yeah.
she was a guest on some radio show, whatever, and the host right there is talking all kind of loose and nasty with her and everything else. Mind you, she was one who got the ball rolling, but I guess he took it to a higher level than her, and then she wants to go clutching her imaginary pearls or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've seen a ton of interviews and stuff where basically she's the if anyone's being sexually assaulted, it's the people she's speaking to. She's out here telling dudes what she gonna do this and that to them and all this other
Yeah.
nonsense. And it's
Yeah.
supposed to be considered just entertainment. This isn't really her, just entertainment. But when people
Hmm.
return the same energy to her, when they reciprocate, now all of a sudden she wants to play the oh, you're invading my privacy. Oh no. Oh, that's I mean that in the bedroom, not right now.
Yeah. She went straight
It's
Karen with that
cheap
shit.
and
Yeah.
disgusting.
She went straight
Um,
Karen.
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
I'm saying, if dudes were halfway intelligent, they wouldn't even. You see a Sukiana coming your direction, you cross the street.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
I would not bring myself to be in a room with her for longer than for 3 minutes. And if I'm in there for 3 minutes, it's because I'm trying to get through the crowd of people to get out the door.
Then you
You
go.
see someone like
Right.
that, you go the other direction because people like that are the ones that are dangerous. They're the ones that get you hemmed up.
She'll do
They get
anything.
you they get you caught
Definitely.
up. You will be left holding the bag, and the bag ain't got nothing nice inside of it.
You're
Those
right.
people are dangerous. Those are the ones that get you on false rape allegations. They get you on fake sexual assault charges. They
Yep.
go ahead and get your name out here dirty in the street. There is no benefit to being around those kind of people. Those people are the definition of a liability. And if you
Hmm.
have anything to defend or protect, you keep yourself from them. Let them stay where they at. People
Real
All
getting
talk.
on
right.
them dudes. People that were getting on them dudes. Duval knows who were at that table with her. Talking about, oh, why didn't they get up and defend her? There's a reason they didn't get up and defend her.
Hmm. Real talk.
I'm
Stay out of
almost
that shit.
positive. I'm almost positive there was another sister up there who wasn't on the nonsense. First off, I'm almost positive that dude wasn't going to come up and do that to her. Number one,
Right.
and number two, if they did, I'm positive you had a dude come up and say something. Hey, slow down, partner. What you doing?
Hmm.
People
Yeah.
like to talk about
Definitely.
what is it being manifesting and being mindful of the energy you bring and the energy you keep around you. If that's
Yeah.
the energy you perpetually keep around you, you can't be upset if people are mirroring what you're giving them.
Real
Yeah.
talk. Yeah, I just want to
Personal
interject.
responsibility and accountability, man.
I just want to interject real quick. The
Real quick.
exact
Real quick.
same thing happened with Madonna and Drake. Actually, it was worse though because she did actually kiss him on the mouth, and he was disgusted by it, and he was, oh God,
As he should be.
and nobody said shit. Just saying. Go ahead,
They did
Ant.
that with Busta Rhymes too. But that fan in the audience went in and groped on Busta, and he's a married
Yeah,
man, faithfully married man.
yeah.
I think he actually popped her for that too, and
He,
cussed her
He
out
got to
on
put up.
stage.
Yeah, he
And they
did.
tried to go ahead and get on him for that. It's like, wait a second, I thought we were all about
They so full
personal
of shit.
space, not sexual assaulting.
They so full of shit with their misandrous and with their misandrous ways and double standards. Go ahead, Ant. What you got, man?
yeah. And let's not forget that the girl tried to grope him from the back and he threw the water on her too.
Yeah.
Rolo Tomasi.
Rolo Samasi.
Tomasi. There you
Hell
go.
no.
Hell no.
Hell no.
I don't even know who that is.
What?
I just had to Google him.
That is
Oh,
the father. That's the
that's the
daddy,
father of the red
the great
pill.
great grandpappy of the red pill movement.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
That's his
He
brainchild.
and he's an idiot. I heard him on some show recently where some guys just gave him a really basic challenge to a poster he put up, and he couldn't even respond to it. He's a monkey, dude. This guy, he's the father of the modern red pill movement. I see why the movement is so flawed. If he's the father of that movement, he's a
Yep.
clown. The dude, he put up a post. The post I'm referring to, talking about ways for young men to be successful, and
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
just a whole bunch of dumb shit. Don't get married.
don't have any children, get a vasectomy, and
He's
they was like,
married. He has
"What?"
children. He hasn't had a vasectomy, and all that is nonsense. None of those things are things that he's done that he stands by.
And he couldn't make any sense of it. They ate him alive. These were some kids, man. These guys were like 21 years old. They lit his ass up. He's a monkey, dude. He's a fool.
All
So
right,
yeah,
let's
hell
move
no.
on to something more productive. Dominique Fishback. I like
Hell
Dominique.
yeah.
I love her.
Hell yeah.
She is
Hell
a
yeah.
rising
Full
star.
disclosure.
Yeah.
Full
Not familiar.
disclosure. Full disclosure, we're related. Okay, so she's a distant cousin of mine. So I'm just
Oh,
gonna put
nice.
that out there. Not gonna say that's the reason I'm saying hell yeah, because she's a hell of an actress. You
Yeah, she
dig?
is.
But she
She
a
is.
beast, dog. She's a monster.
What's
You don't
she
know who
been
that
in?
is, Bobby?
Never
She's
heard
in
the
the
name.
movie. She's in the what's the one?
Swarm.
The Swarm.
She's in Swarm. The lead actress in
She's
I actually
Swarm.
she's the
still
lead.
haven't seen
She's
that.
Oh shit.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get to it. Jesus.
Yeah,
You guys okay, man. I'll
she
get
a
there.
beast, bro. She a beast.
She's the
She
lead.
was in
yeah.
a movie with
You'll
Jamie.
check
She was in a
you'll
movie with
check her
Jamie
out.
Foxx not too long ago too. Power
Yeah, she's
Which
something.
one? That Netflix one?
Project Power, I think it's called.
Oh, was she his daughter in that?
Yes. Yes. He a
Oh,
monster, dog.
okay.
Yeah. She'll
I've
ride him.
seen her. All right, cool.
all right. Harlem TV show.
Hell to the no. Hell no. That is the worst
Harlem.
TV show to come on TV in the last 10 years. That shit is
Har-
garbage.
which Harlem?
Harlem, the one with Megan Good and all these other
Oh,
Oh no!
birds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I
That shit is
remember.
garbage.
That
I
shit
completely
was so
forgot that was out
that
there.
shit was so it was so horrible. That's why she got the divorce.
Oh,
After
it was
she was
horrible.
looking up in that man's ass like that, that pastor was
Oh,
like,
that's
"Nah,
the
I'm
thing.
good. I'm good off that."
Any show you got a man
Imagine
with his
you got
legs up in the air
Yeah.
asking a woman to eat his ass. She went full Gabrielle Union on that show. Stop it.
I'm
that's
good
got
off
to
that.
be. That's a horrible L to take in life. You literally sacrificing your dignity to be placing your face in a man's ass cheeks, or at least pretending to do that for camera.
It's horrible. The
Your
show is
show's still
horrible.
garbage.
It's
All
not
right.
funny. It's not
Lord,
nearly funny. It's
you shouldn't
corny.
do that. You shouldn't even consider even doing something like that unless you're at least guaranteed an Emmy.
Ah,
If you don't walk off the stage with a Golden Globe at least.
woo!
All
Bruh,
right.
Mm,
So
bruh.
the next one we got is
mm.
Movado. Movado,
Movado. Yeah. I'm
Movado,
talking about the
the
brand,
watch
not
or the artist?
the box, the watch. Hell
Oh, the
yeah.
watch. Movado
Yeah.
What to
watches is
watch?
nice. They nice.
Yeah.
Salute to
I
Hell yeah. I
like.
Movados.
rock with them.
I rocks with black owned watches. So
Okay.
Italian twine is my shit.
The T and
So I
Dub.
fucks with Italian twine. So shout
Send
out
me
to
send me the
Italian
link to
twine.
that. Send me the link to
I'll
that.
send it to you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Salute to Movado
Express.
though. That's one
Uh,
of the pinnacles, one of the really like the front runners in the
oh
minimalist
yeah.
watch game. Simple, clean,
Yeah.
works
Yeah.
all the time, every time, reliable. Salute to
A
Movado.
couple of them.
Definitely. Express clothing store. Fuck yes. I get my clothes from
Hell
Express.
yeah.
I shop at
Hell
Express.
yeah.
I fucks with
Plenty
Express.
of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do Express. Now, I used to rock Express back in the day, but it was good to me. But
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Hey man, that's you.
All right.
these
Well,
shoulders, man,
that's it.
they
That's it for
these shoulders.
this segment of
Okay.
Hell Yeah, Hell No.
Yeah.
So definitely a good segment.
hmm
So definitely we are not doing the Queen check for tonight, but we do want to pay homage to one of the iconic legends in South Florida.
hmm
I've known this guy for a long time, um, since I knew him since he had started up down here with Roots Collective. Dude is just a super dope soul, man. I'm talking about. I thought I wasn't gonna meet my match of unapologetic uh, what they call it, the unapologetic of extremists, right? So we have
Uh,
extremist type views. And I didn't think I was gonna meet somebody with the extreme hilarious um comedical type side as this individual, and super dope dude and really great for the community. So I definitely want to highlight Danny Agnew. This dude was super dope. He was a friend of mine. Um, he really built a lot of what you see down in the community down in Miami, off of 54th and 7th Ave. That's where you Roots Collective was 55th and 7th.
mhm.
They had a storefront. That was his base hub. He did everything for the community that a lot of people didn't even know he did. Um, and for people that don't know who he was the gentleman who died in the car accident. Um, I think it was Wednesday. Was it Thursday morning? I think it was Thursday morning at 2:30 a.m.
Mm.
His
Yeah.
Tesla, his Tesla was coming off the highway, entering onto the high. I think it was entering onto the highway somewhere around there, and he lost control. They said he lost control, and it slammed into the wall and caused an 8-car pileup. And during that 8-car pileup, he ended up losing his life out of everybody there, and his life ended tragically. It hit us hard. People that's been in the community that know Danny, um, this hit hard. I got the text message early in the morning, and I couldn't go back to sleep. I kind of shed a tear. Um, I was crying because of the simple fact that um, he was such a powerful figure. And you know, when we talk about nation building, we talk about individuals that's out here doing tangible work, not symbolic stuff, but tangible work, getting tangible stuff done, so that way we can move the bar higher than what it was left for us. And he was getting tangible stuff done. He also had a with Roots Collective, his base was about printing. So he did a lot of printing, t-shirt printing, business printing, whether you need logos and stuff like that. He was doing hats, mugs, clothing, apparel. He had it all. Like they were really the pillar of Miami. When I used to be in different rooms and I would speak highly of them when I thought they weren't in the room. I was speaking highly of them. And I remember one time we went to the cigar lounge and we had a brothers meeting over there, and I was telling people like, "Yo, you know, these dudes are real dope. Roots Collective, my boy Danny." And I said, to me, they're like the modern day um, Black Panther because they operate just like Black Panther. And I remember I after I was walking outside, Zabo tapped me on my shoulder, and I turned around and I gave that to Zabo, and I was smiling, and then his brother, Danny's brother, was there as well. I've seen Danny's brother a couple times. We weren't as close or know each other like Zabo and Danny. I know Zabo and Danny. Zabo is Danny's right hand man. That everywhere you see Danny, Zabo was right there. Um, and I know Zabo is going through it right now. Can't wait to meet up with that brother to offer my condolences to him. And I know a lot of the people in the community have been hit very, very hard with the loss of Danny because he have done so much great things. He was a recipient of an award. Um, Recently, they had the legacy award that he had won, Bruce Collective won. Danny's the one grabbing the mic. The gentleman you see on the left in the back, that's my good friend Munch, James Mungan on Facebook. Zabo is right behind on the right side, is right behind Danny. That's his right hand man. All the way to the right is Janae Tate. She presented the award. She's also the founder, CEO of High Low News that does a lot of good reporting out here for our local community. And James Mungan has the one all the way to the back to the left. He has a podcast called Trapping Ain't Dead, where he was educating people on the politics of what's going on in the community. Super, super dope podcast that you guys could check out. And also, I think he's coming back to bring it back. And I've been encouraging them to do so because people in our community need this information. Like I said, he's done so many wonderful things. Um, like I said, the Achievers Award he had got. Even here, you had a woman, this lady here was paying homage to him because, you know, he was out here doing a lot of things to help the community. A lot of women were out here feeding the homeless, and he would provide the building so they could come and prep their food to carry out to go feed the homeless. That building is so iconic. If you guys get a chance to go down there and buy apparel or support whatever they got going down on 55th and 7th Avenue, that's in Miami,
Yeah,
right next to the Burger King. He also, you know, like I said, he was providing so much resources to the community. He had a summer camp, and in the summer camp, he was teaching the children how to prep food for the community and for the homeless. So he had the children out here, you know, doing work for the community, doing community work. This was summer camp. You
that's
know what I
dope.
mean? Super dope. And here's the young lady that was in charge of the camp as well. And she's out here, you know, doing things and feeding the community as well. As you can see, our little young prince were back there toting the little crate with all type of stuff in it. Um, and you know, they were just doing super, super dope stuff. And a lot of people don't know his history, his past. He came on my radio show back in 2014. I interviewed him when I was on another radio station, and he came there and he told me about his past. And he was former into gangs. He got shot at. He told me he got shot at. He's in gangs. He was just living a real reckless life. And he moved out of Chicago and came to Florida and did a whole 180 and changed his life and went from, like I told you guys from before, early in the program, he literally went from negative to positive, and it's all good. Just like Biggie said, that's
Hmm.
exactly what he did. He went from being a product of harming people in the community to end up aiding and helping people in the community. He was also a fellow, he was also a convicted felon, but he ended up showing people how to get their rights restored and ex-felons to get their rights restored. He also helped felons to get jobs, do community work and help him out. He's a good friend with Valencia Gunda. I can't wait to see Valencia Gunda and offer my condolences to her as well because the whole community's hurting. The whole community's collapsed. You know, when you have people like this that take the time out to invest in the community heavy, and they're doing work that most politicians get paid to do, and he's doing twice or even more than what these politicians are doing. And half the time, the politicians ain't doing shit. So he's doing way more than what they're doing for half the expenses, and a lot of that comes out of pocket. And like I say, it was a huge hit for the community. A lot of people were hitting me up and saying condolences, and you know, and I said, really, to be honest, it's condolences to both of us because he was doing work for our children so much and the next generation that it would help them and not hinder them and giving them at least a comfort and a path to success when all these elders out here ain't doing not even one lick of what he was doing for the community, what he provided. He also had a thing called the community fridge, and it was a fridge. It was a fridge that they put outside his building in the front, right by the door, and anybody, whether you were homeless or you just wanted something to eat, some snacks, you could go inside the fridge, open up the fridge, take out, they had bags of fruits, they had juices, water, whatever you needed. You could just walk up to the fridge, open it up, take out what you need, and go. It wasn't
Wow.
in the building or nothing like that. This was outside, and they called
Mm.
it the community fridge. And then people would donate, different things for them to put in the fridge. So he was just doing some real Black Panther work. Like Roots Collective, they were doing the Black Panther work. I went to one of the events they had. They had an event where they were teaching you how to stop a gunshot wound. So if somebody you knew that got shot, they were showing you how you could stop the wound and save that person's life until the paramedics come and
Wow.
assist you. So there was programs that he was doing like that, educating our peoples, and it was just so super dope, man. And before I go, with before I get out of here with this, I definitely want to show you guys his video. Um, as you can see, people might say, "Oh, that's not his Tesla." No, that's his Tesla because these are his cars and his boat. I remember when he got the boat, he told me he had the boat, and I would see him go out and go fishing, and I always said I was going to jump on the boat with him one day,
Mm.
and and these are his cars, and I just wish he would have took the Pontiac out instead of the Teslas. So many bad things are going on with these Teslas. People losing control. As you guys know, there was a high school couple that was going to prom, and the young driver behind it lost control and killed him and the girl.
Mm.
I think it was before they got to prom. And
Wow.
they died before they got to prom, because it was the Tesla. A lot of people was telling me that you got to familiarize yourself with a Tesla. It's an electric car. It's not a regular car. It operates different. It stops different. So these parents go out here and they go out here and rent these cars for these children, and they don't have proper knowledge of the car, and they go out here and they just race it up, driving fast and not realizing, and end up losing control and end up crashing into it. They had a Tesla in New York that stopped in the middle of the highway and caused a pileup. It just stopped randomly out of nowhere. So I
Wow.
really don't like those Teslas. To me, they are a death trap because you just never know what's going to happen with it. But with that being said, I definitely want to show you this video before we get up out of here. And it shows you the type of character that Danny was, a very loved dude, somebody that I love dearly. And it just hurts my heart. Like this week has just really dampened me, because when you lose somebody that powerful in the community, they're never replaced, right? So it's like, damn, you got to go another 50 years before you find somebody that in depth in doing that. Now we still have people out here that's pioneering doing what they do, but that dude right there is just one of a kind, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm part of making sure his legacy is forever lived throughout South Florida. So here's a video of him so you guys can get a better view, and also a better understanding of who he is.
Because we're in a serious position right now as an organization. Since 2018, we've been on 7th Avenue and 55th, and we've been doing a lot of community work, but now big development is coming and shaking up things for our neighborhood. We're in a position where in September, we're going to be kicked out of our current location. Right now, we've been dealing with evictions. Sharina, we mentioned her, she's the Village Ridge. Sharina, she feeds 150 people every morning, Monday through Saturday, 150 to 200 people every single day, and she's getting ready to get evicted out of her spot because, again, development is coming and taking our city. So we're reaching out to y'all. These are important people in this room. We're not usually in these spaces. We're usually on the ground, but we want to reach out to you all. If you got a property, if you know someone with a property, we got a couple of donors, we got a couple of backers. We need a space so that we can call it our own, so goods can continue to grow and push our mission. We love y'all.
Applause.
That was Danny.
Whoa. Yeah. Yeah, that's powerful, man.
It
Yeah,
hurts, man. I've been
um,
I
yeah,
found
man.
out
I
on
understand.
Friday morning. I don't know. I was at work. I was multitasking to some things, and I was flipping through my feed, and I don't remember at this point now who it was I saw, but I saw something about Danny passed away, and I was kind of like, "The hell you talking about?" And I was looking to see if maybe they got it confused. Maybe is he just injured or something, and they just or it's not looking good. But um, so he was gone. He's passed, and I checked a couple other people's pages who I knew him, was really close with them,
Yeah.
and it was weird because I don't know. When Friday kicked off, and Friday hit, and I woke up. I just felt so good that whole morning. I'm like, everything's feeling good. Got stuff lined up for the weekend. Next week's gonna be great. Juneteenth's coming up, and as soon as I saw that, it's like the whole vibe was like, okay, closing time. Just
Yeah,
cut off all the lights, cut off the AC, lock the door,
Mm.
pull the shutters down. No more.
Very
So
good
I've
salad, brother.
personally been.
Mm.
I'm not even gonna lie about it. I've really been fucked up since Friday about it. I'm just
yeah,
haven't been able to shake out of the funk, and I'm grateful for the people I have around me, and I've done a lot of laughing this weekend too, but
yeah,
um, it just hasn't really lingered like that.
Mm.
Um, I had I made it a point because I knew I wasn't going to be able. They had the memorial for him tonight, but
yeah,
the show must go on literally, so we held down the fort here. But I made a
yeah,
point Friday evening to swing by, stop by the gym. As soon as I left, I grabbed some flowers, grabbed a candle. I slid on down by the shop,
yeah,
and I saw there's already some flowers out there, some things out there that they had as a little makeshift memorial. So I added my contributions to it, and just was posting the blog, just reflecting. And while I was there, some other people came up. And they laid theirs down too, and so I spent about 15 minutes consoling them because as soon as they pulled up to the store, they just started weeping and crying. So
Mm.
um, I'm there fighting my tears, and I'm trying to help them fight theirs. And we were
yeah,
just talking about Danny, how we knew him and everything, and just really feeling the moment.
mm,
So I didn't know Danny in depth like that. I knew of him. I mean, I don't think it's possible to be black in Miami and not at least heard Danny's name mentioned somewhere. He's
mm,
Mm.
always doing big things.
yeah,
But I met him a few years ago. It was after Nipsey passed, and
mm,
the Roots Collective store had this memorial event for him, just honoring him, celebrating his life. And so I was feeling really down. I really took Nipsey's death hard, so I came out there just bumping into people I knew, meeting other people. And so I ended up bumping into Danny. I'm like, oh, okay, so you're Danny. We just started chopping it up, and we hit it off right away.
yeah,
And I remember I got there like around, I think it might have been like 7:30, 8 o'clock, whatever.
mm,
And I didn't leave that building until it must have been about 3, maybe 4 in the morning. We were right in the back of the shop. It was myself, Danny, his lady, a couple other people, and we were just talking, chopping it up, man. We talked about our lives and everything, the things that we've done, things that we're doing. Talking a lot about history, about Black empowerment, and we were just really going into it, and it felt like we had known each other for a long time,
yeah,
and that was when I really knew, this is a really, really good dude. This is a really solid brother, man. He had that same unapologetic fierceness and no cap, no disrespect, not trying to hype or pile nothing on, but I really kind of felt like, I imagine this might have been what it was like to, sit next to like a Fred Hammond or to a Huey Newton or to
mm,
a Kwame Ture or somebody like that.
yeah,
Because, today those are big major names, the big figures. You write, your kids write reports about them for Black History Month and stuff. There's posters and stuff. But back in
mm,
those days, they weren't big. I mean, they were just well known people. They were respecting the community. but they were basically like a Danny. They just were known for helping out, and they had people who supported them, people that may not have liked them, or whatever, but they weren't
Mm.
celebrities the way they are now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to imagine this must have been what it's like, talk to one of those brothers, one of those sisters back then. You just
Mm.
feel inspired, or if you were on the fence about something, they were the ones that really gave you that clarity. Because I felt that when I left there, and I
Yeah.
remember leaving, feel like, I really have, I feel like I got a brother in this man here. I feel like, we're on the same wavelength, down for the same cause. We're about the same business. We have the same love and passion for our people.
Hmm.
And even though I didn't get down to Miami as often as I did, I tried to, stop by Roots Collective when I could here and there. But it just hurts knowing that somebody like that isn't around anymore
Mm.
because he did so much. He was when you talk about the idea of when you see the need, meet the need, that was Danny. And the one thing I do feel happy about and joyful about is that I know that even though it wasn't planned, I know that he definitely got his flowers and he got to feel the love when he passed.
Hmm.
Because so many times we have people who labor and sweat and they work their ass off for us. And
Mm.
unfortunately, that can be a very thankful job, even from the very people that you're looking to help sometimes.
Yeah.
But Danny was very loved, very well respected in the community. Um, People knew about him, and he also was, clicked with people from different walks of life. So it wasn't just, black folk that were riding with Danny. He had a
Exactly.
presence in the Latino community.
Yep.
Um,
White
there's other
community.
different white communities. It again, we were talking earlier about being unapologetic and not being a Sambo. You're
Hmm.
respected even by people who might
Yeah.
in some cases be your enemies. When you have
Yeah.
an enemy or an opponent, an adversary that is on the square, they're thorough, they handle business, they don't kowtow, they're intelligent, they know what they're doing,
Hmm.
whatever. Even if it's just like a professional rivalry thing, you just can't help but respect and admire somebody like that, even if that's someone that you're opposed to.
Exactly.
And Danny
And
was that dude.
just to add on that, he had shirts. He had shirts, very unapologetic shirts that said
Yeah,
"Gringos lie," and he had one that said "Crackers
I
lie," and he
love
had one that said "Fuck 12." So I just wanted to
when
add
he put,
that in.
especially the first two, when he put those shirts out, I was crying, laughing like this man.
Yes.
He's trying to get somebody hemmed up out here, but he ain't care.
He
And
didn't
if you
care.
see
He
his
wore it.
pictures, dude, shoot, he wasn't just putting out and saying, "Hey, y'all go put this on." Man rocked all his stuff, all
All of
Roots
his stuff.
Collective, everything, the Gringos Lie, all the stuff. He was rocking all them things. You know, he was really about the business. He wasn't shying away from that. You know, he believed what he believed, and he stood on that.
Exactly.
Um, and it's just so damn hard to get people like that, man.
Yeah, it is. That's why it was a big loss. It's a huge loss.
I don't
But
know,
yeah,
man.
I,
Yeah,
I'm,
we could
I'm
be
a
here all
hundred.
night talking about Danny. So
No, I can't be here all
somebody's
night
got to,
because I'm gonna
nah,
get right back in my feelings about it.
yeah.
I'm gonna just pass it on. Anything you want to say, Major, before we get up out of here?
Not much. I met the brother briefly.
Mm.
Didn't really get to know him like you and or even like Bobby, but clearly, his presence was huge in the community, and it's a truly tragic loss. I didn't even know all of this stuff. I met him back in the days when he was a part of the Dream Defenders.
Yes.
That's when I came in contact with him, and it was real brief. But I was in support of what they were doing, and
Mm.
I didn't know about Roots Collective and that he'd gone down to the city and opened a store, and he was doing all this activism. This is all news to me. I just thought he
Mm.
dropped off the radar after the Dream Defenders. You know what I mean? So I didn't know all of this stuff. So it's great to hear um, what that bloomed into, and that he stayed in the struggle. You know what I mean? And that he was a active participant, and that he was out here moving and shaking and doing great work. That is a beautiful thing, and it's great to hear, and it's great to know, because when I met him, like you said, you got that unapologetic spirit, whatever the case
Mm.
may be. Even though our interaction was very brief,
Mm.
you could see this was one of them ones. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt when I met the guy.
So it's good to hear, all this stuff that he kept on with it, and he looked like he took it and ran with it. That's music to my ears, man. That's music to my heart. So R.I.P. to our dear brother, and you know, I, I pray for the healing of his family and those in the community, because I can tell, just by the way you're speaking of him, that this is going to be a huge loss. And like you say, it's very hard to come across those type of people.
Exactly.
Mhm.
All right. Well,
Before we move any further,
yeah.
really quickly, I just want to put out that I'd be remiss if one of us didn't bring it up. Um, I don't if there's nobody who's on the front lines of doing work in the community in South Florida that doesn't know who Danny is. And
Mm,
if you think we've got stories, they've got tons of stories about their impressions of him and just the work they were able to do with him.
yeah.
Long story short, this was a brother who was serious and passionate about helping and giving back and being of service. That was his life.
Mm, yeah.
He was about
So,
that. Very gifted, very talented brother. His family have started a GoFundMe to assist in getting him taken care of. Uh, Thankfully, it's a blessing because this isn't the case for a lot of our leaders. But thankfully, I do know that Danny did not die a broke man. Thank God.
Mm,
His service didn't call for him to be impoverished. I'm grateful for that. But
mm,
it's typically the case with things like death, especially if it's unplanned, if it's unforeseen.
mm,
A lot of times that those funds can get locked up and get hemmed up, and it can be a long time before you can see any of the insurance money or any other stuff. Especially
yeah.
with that whole Tesla thing, there might even be like a legal battle with that as well. So
Mm,
it might be some time before the family is able to get the proper finances to go ahead and give that brother the send off that he does truly deserve. The family did start a GoFundMe. I know that his brother is the person who's currently over it at this time.
mm.
And we can go ahead and toss the link in the description and in the comments as well too.
Yeah. I definitely put the
You've heard us
description in.
talking about him, and you ask anyone, they'll say more, if not the same thing we've been saying about him. This was a brother who truly spent much of his life giving back
Mm,
selflessly.
yeah.
Whether there was profit in it or there wasn't profit, it didn't matter to him. He was hungry for opportunities to give back and to leave the community better than when he arrived there.
Mm,
Whatever that's worth to you, because we don't have nearly enough people that are committed to doing that. But whatever that's worth to you, whatever impression that leaves on you that someone who's out there moving this way, being about the business, uh, please don't think of it as a robbery to go ahead and contribute to that.
mm,
Lord knows He's sunk a whole lot more dollars into giving back to the kids, the less fortunate, the needy, the homeless, the people who are down, people who are hemmed up unjustly in incarceration. Everywhere to make an impact. Danny had fingerprints somewhere there. Whatever a person's life like that is worth to you, whatever it is that you're able to do, please contribute to that GoFundMe. If there's one crowdfunding that you give to, please let it be that one. I can promise and guarantee that it's not going to be waste. Um,
mm.
it'll be good for the family to feel that as well too. To not feel as though their loved one who gave so much when it was his turn didn't have that same support, if not more, back. Please show love to them.
Definitely. Well said. We will have the link. I will put the link up into the description box so you guys can have it. And I appreciate everybody that tuned in and been watching us and had this recap show that we definitely put together for you guys. And like I said, we're gonna be doing it a little bit more often. Um, and with that being said, we just wanna go out, peace, love to Danny, Roots Collective, and everybody in the community and all the people that he helped because he was teaching our children how to fish, not just giving them fish. So I think a lot of people don't realize that part of it. They earned a lot of skills through going to his building. So with that being said, we'll see you guys next week. Appreciate y'all and we love y'all. All right. Peace out, family.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
On the album, we do things like songs that are a little, what we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.